It is getting charged up. When you have me and Tego and Zapp Mallet in the same space, I feel like a dwarf. These are the men God created just before he moved on to people like me. People like myself, Richie Mansa. But it's okay, we are still presidential.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
Black and white, black and white. Can't pay my pick up time on here day to day. Can't pull me never sell it. You fall it. 7 days in the Sule. Yamagaki Yaku, Kabele, Jaskele, Kofile, Kabele, Abeleko Toku, Omi, on tele, Populama, sex machine, Abele Johnny. I be too much, I be senior, Asaniole. I can't tell it, tell my chance, one Sunday. I'm sparkling, some of my me can you tell it. What is a good time to my DJ, Mallet, or point, Nakano, Smoboka, Mother put the ginger and trouble the Kaka, Okusa, Lekobata, Obabu Sule, Makota,
99.7 FM.
I'm the jumbo daddy. I'm Blamo Kobi, in my
Shall we? And of course, you'll hear Noella Karen Yali, the lady who's got all the juice in the entertainment space. Why are you dressed like Michael Jackson today?
I woke up and felt like dressing like how I'm dressed, so yeah.
So what do you call it? What do you call what you're wearing? Describe it for our listeners.
Oh, exactly. Exactly what.
And the giggle you heard came from none other than our special guest for the afternoon, the man Zapp Mallet. And of course, we've got a grandmaster in the house too. Grandmaster,
yes,
how are we doing, sir?
I'm well.
How's the week been?
What is there to do, George?
Chaleba, you're looking good, though.
Oh, when you are sitting at home and you are eating, yes, this is what happens. I've been well.
You're looking good. The girls will be coming after you playing.
Not really. No.
They are not coming.
No.
Why are they not coming?
There are a few secrets I can tell you after the show.
After the show, it's not for public consumption.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Mallet.
Yes, boss.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm very well. Very, very well.
Yeah.
I've been well since.
Yeah, but you know you've been unfair to the rest of us. I hear God created you just before some of us. Well, I thought we got there.
No. It's not true.
The height was finished.
No. I spoke to God about it.
After you focused on EO, Joby and Papi could.
No, well, there was a lot. There was a lot to go around, but apparently you guys were late.
We were planning to take over and rule the country.
Okay. You did. Yeah. I mean, very well.
The man is our chief patron.
I have missed Zapp. Sitting on the VGMA board for like 2 or 3 years.
I think it was like 4.
3. I think
3. Okay.
It was something else.
Yeah, it was
full of humor,
fun,
everything. And there's no what English am I supposed to even use or say? There's nothing like sitting with Zapp in the same room.
Very true. Very true. We'll come to Zapp shortly, but let's go to Noella Karen Yali.
Hi, darling.
What's been happening in showbiz this week?
Let's begin with highly spiritual music label signing, Mr. Drew. You remember last week I wrapped up my segment with him in the trend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was because he got his music video for his latest single, Eat, which had close to 1 million views on YouTube, pulled down by YouTube, for some copyright breaches. And I know you're wondering how that happened. So apparently he sampled American Nigerian artist Rotimi's Love Rhythm song for his Eat song. And a Ghanaian music fanatic actually privately messaged Rotimi on Instagram to report him for doing that.
Wow.
And so Rotimi obviously also reported the matter to, YouTube, and that warranted YouTube pulling down that music video. But for those of you who have not followed the issues, listen to Rotimi's Love Rhythm, which is the song Mr. Drew has been accused of sampling. I eat. Stone Boy, that's the song whose video got pulled down by YouTube. But Drew was on the Daybreak Hit Show on Hits FM this week, and he apologized for his actions. Listen.
I want to apologize genuinely to the whole Ghana that I know and I accept my faults.
Did you steal the song?
I didn't steal the song. I feel like it was a mistake from my side and then from the publisher also having Stone Boy on the record as well and not waiting for the right response from the other person's team or Rotimi's team. And I want to say sorry for that.
Now, in apologizing, Mr. Drew revealed that dancehall artist Stone Boy, whom he featured on the song, was actually aware that the song was for someone else, and so what they were doing was a cover version.
For those who don't know, this is like the first time I'm saying this. Stone Boy did come to me. He texted me on Instagram and he was like, I think this is a banger, so let's do it. And then I spoke to my manager. I was like, did somebody hack Stone Boy's account? It was very strange. I didn't tag him. I didn't tag Stone Boy in it. It was just Rotimi, and it was very strange. So I went back to check the post, and I realized that Stone Boy had commented under the post, "Yo, this is a big tune. Let's fix it." So fast forward, I sent him the instru, and then he did his version, and then sent it.
Does that mean that Stone Boy didn't know that the song already belonged to someone?
That's what I thought. So I felt like, hey, does he know that it's a cover? Does he know that it's somebody's song? So
did you ask him?
Yes, I did. And then he was like, oh yeah, he knows. I actually have the chats.
Okay.
He was like, oh yeah, he knows. But you get a big song out of a big song.
Right.
That was a statement.
Right.
Because I was even scared. I was like, what if he doesn't know that's it? So I even sent him another song that I wanted to put him on.
Interesting.
However, Stone Boy denies this, and he has this to say about the issue.
I don't follow him though. It's not like I'm saying that for any clout. But on the explore page, you see a lot of things roll up. So that rolled up. Then I think the caption was, should I release this or something about that place. Then I looked at the handle and I realized it was Mr. Drew, one of Kaywa's boys. So for the relationship I had with Kaywa, I'm like, oh, but that sounds nice. Fortunately enough, it was from one of his boys. Then I sent him a DM and said, bro, send me this for a verse. He was overwhelmed. He didn't even understand how in the world his stars will align for something like this to come his way when he would have least thought about it. Because Kaywa could have called me even Kaywa knew that I was super busy. I finished recording this beautiful verse in my house, beating it loud, and my brother comes and tells me, bro, you did like the song, it is somebody in the song though. I said, play like I hear. So he played the beat. I realized the beat was like direct. And some of the melodies too literally. So I looked at him like, but the thing would be like this, via the same IG again. Then he said, it's a cover. I'm like, fine, if it's a cover, just do what you have to do, because people do covers. Covers are running the whole world. Artists do cover people's songs. Simple, but it's not my business to come and clear your song and make sure things are done right. That was when I found out it was a cover.
All right, and you heard Stonebwoy denying that he didn't know that the song was a cover version from the start. He actually got to know after he had recorded his version for the Eat song. But I want to know what the Grandmaster makes of this story.
What exactly do you want to know?
Everything, a comment on the story
if
so
you
far.
ask the question, I can give you an answer. Well, let's see. Sampling is very important. I can tell you that right from the late 70s, rap artists were sampling from why have I forgotten their name? From the normal artists.
Various artists.
Thank you very much.
Including Bob James, jazz, and all that.
Thank you very much. So it's always been something that has existed. Now, the most important thing you can do when you want to sample is to ask permission. The artist or the copyright owner may say that, okay, pay 300,000, or you know what, you have my permission to use it for free. If you don't sample, then you will get yourself into serious trouble. I heard you say that the artist came to apologize to Ghanaians. I mean, what for? I don't need the apology. When tell the person who sampled the song from that I'm sorry for sampling without letting you know or without asking your permission. So if the copyright owner decides to take him to court, that's his problem, not mine.
But let me quickly and let's introduce Uncle Kennedy, who's joined us in the studio. Uncle, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, George.
Yes.
I'm not always late.
No, you're not late. You're just yeah, did anybody complain?
Yes, you've been going about painting the picture that I come late.
Who, me?
Nobody has mentioned lateness here.
I don't know what are you talking about. So this is the background to the story. When I did a post on Facebook about today's show, somebody came to comment that tell Uncle Ken not to come late. So I tagged Uncle Ken and say, over to you, Jolati. What have I done?
But you shouldn't have done it publicly.
No. No. That's not even the point. Okay. Publicly, no problem. If it was a fact, that he was putting across, I don't have a problem. But it was a blatant lie. He knows that I come early.
But Uncle Ken, you are late today.
Anyway,
that's all right. That's all right.
Good to see Zapp. Yeah, man. Very good to see Zapp.
You know, I almost lost my way when I got in the building because the building has really changed. Because we were here since inception, but things have really changed. Gone through a lot of changes.
Nice one.
Getting back quickly to it, Zapp, let me take your thoughts on the sampling thing. I mean, you've been a legendary producer, and when we get into your conversation, I'm sure we'll get to know.
You see, this is where our industry falls short. That's a problem with our industry, because if we had a proper industry going, there should be clearance offices where you can, or clearance agents who clear samples, because Snoop or Puff or PDD can just take any song. But as soon as you take it, you ask for clearance. And there's an office you go to deal with when it comes to all these things. But over here, when you pick a sample, who are you going to see? Do you go to Gamro or do you go to Music? There's nobody.
There's no organization.
There's no organization to give you that kind of clearance, but in America and other countries or other jurisdictions, they have those things set up already. So when you know that you are going to sample you know that there's a clearance for it, and you have to go and pay, and it comes by itself because the industry has been set up.
Over there, we do it family and friends. If it's near a table, let's go near. Charlie, I do your song.
That kind of thing,
But in Drew's submission, he mentioned that when he uploaded the song on social media, he tagged it to me. Is that not?
The tagging is not. You've done it already.
That is not asking permission.
Okay.
At all. I can't look. Even in the public, okay, if I stand in front of Joy FM and somebody actually comes close to me, that person cannot even take my picture without asking my permission. Unless we are in a really public place, let's say State House, something that happened for there, yes, then I'm sure you can take. But you can't just walk up to me and just take my picture.
There is a classic example that happened near you a long time ago. Beatles did Mr. Postman.
Okay.
Mr. Postman was done by a Motown, one of the Motown, and they had pressed and released the record And just before the records came out, they called Motown, Berikodi said, okay, go ahead. That time they had finished the song already. So this thing didn't start today.
You know Vanilla Ice?
Ice.
Fantastic. He picked it up, I think, from an Irish singer also.
Yes.
And then when you asked him if he sampled, he said no, he didn't sample. It was original. Meanwhile, the song already existed somewhere.
Belonged to someone already.
There are two very basic examples that I always give when the matter comes up of copyright and Graceland by Paul Simon.
Paul Simon,
Nobody asked Paul Simon to come to Ghana himself and negotiate for the usage.
Rhythm of the Saints.
I mean, he came here, he paid money. And I can tell you that he could have gotten away with it if he hadn't come at that time. In the 80s.
But he did the right thing.
But he did the right thing. Second one, that astonished me in a way, Michael Jackson. I want to be starting something.
Mama C, Mama Sa, Mama
Correct.
Yeah.
Samples the late
Manu
Dibango.
Okay.
And doesn't do the right thing, he's threatened.
Yeah.
And then issues are resolved behind closed doors. I found that a bit intriguing. But otherwise, the fact of the matter is you need to seek permission.
So it's a key lesson for most of our artists.
Marvin Gaye. Family. Haven't they won?
Romantic Empire Williams.
So Ice Ice Baby was actually sampled from the
names disappear.
He sang for Queen.
Freddie
Mercury.
There was another guy. So it wasn't from Ireland, sorry, in the same area.
England.
Freddie Mercury and some other guy.
What else is in the news this week?
Let's continue with singer Becca, who was this week heavily trolled on social media for a tweet she made about Africans supporting the ongoing anti-racism protest in America. So for the benefit of those who haven't even heard about the protest, basically thousands of people across the world are condemning racism and demanding justice for the death of George Quaye, a young black American whose death was captured on camera, and it saw a police officer kneel on his neck till he passed out. And that happened in the city of Minneapolis in Minnesota in the US on May 25. And like I said earlier, his death has caused outrage and has sparked a wave of protests in cities across the US and the world. But Becca says Africans supporting the fight against racial injustice in America are hypocrites. And according to her, many countries in Africa have problems like tribalism, ethnic and religious discrimination that has been left to fester in our societies for a long time. Yet we have the time to go help another country solve their problems. So she tweeted, quote, "You are here in Africa fighting and advocating racism in the US, but in your church, in your home, you are criticizing and judging someone for marrying a fellow African because they are not from your hometown country church. Damn hypocrites." So that was Becca's tweet. But some of Becca's colleagues and music fanatics in general thought to school her that the issue about police brutality and racism is way, way, way bigger than some Ghanaians not supporting you for marrying a Nigerian. And so one of them is actress Amakia Beresa, who tweeted, "Sis, they are both wrong. However, it's incomparable to equate the fight for the systematic racism in the USA to African tribalism in marriage and hypocrisy. You can highlight that without appearing to diminish the fight about police brutality. Murder is not marriage. Love always." And Lydia Forson also had something to say. She also said, "Sis, I believe you can dedicate your platform to speak on tribalism and give it the attention you feel it deserves without denigrating the voices of those speaking against racism. Hashtag Black Lives Matter." But that's not all. Like I said, some social media users also reacted to Becca's tweet. And DNA says, "I saw Becca's tweet and I commented like shaking my head." That was yesterday. "She's entitled to her view and the criticism may be 50-50 based on diverse views. I think someone not being allowed to marry from another tribe is not in any way compared to people being murdered in full public glare." Solomon King Art 2 also says, "Sometimes we have to know where the tweet is coming from. Becca, tweeted out of self-interest. Many are those who bashed her for marrying a Niger brother. It's been in her heart to say a word to them peeps for a long time, and she missed her timing, subject and target. But after the negative feedback, her tweets got, Becca came out to clarify her tweets, and so she tweeted once again. This time she said, quote, "Racism affects all of us, disregarding the color of our skin. As Africans, one of our biggest histories is racism, and it's time we put an end to this. However, as Africans back home, what are we doing to combat xenophobia, tribalism, nepotism, and common differences? So my earlier tweet should not be taken out of context. The racial killings, police brutality, rape, bullying, and all forms of violence still going on around the world is very disgraceful, to say the least. And we all as humans, being not just as black and white, must empathize because it concerns us all." But George, guess what? People just didn't have chills for her clarifications as well. They continued to bash. I mean, she trended for 2 days. Becca was in the, I think, number 1 and number 2, between number 1 and number 2, spots on.
And also just bashing.
Bashing, I'm telling you. There were few people that really, saw, agreed with her or shared her sentiments, basically. But
I mean, let's move on with this one.
It's pretty important.
Why did he want to move on?
Why?
Yes, I'm wondering why he wanted to just move on.
Because you see, I wanted to move on because it is exactly. It's a lot of opinion. Look, if you ask me,
isn't everything we do here matters?
All right, let's have takers. Uncle Ken, what do you want to say on this one?
He wants to move on.
You want to move on? Should we move on?
I have plenty to say.
Go ahead, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
I think that when I saw this Becca post, all I said to myself was, show business, like you guys always say. Some issue has cropped up, gotten the attention of the whole wide world, and some smart artist says, let me throw something in there and everybody will be talking about me.
So what, you think it was deliberate?
Well, you people tell me that these things are done in this industry for hype. Yeah. Nobody knows what she's planning, but having gotten the attention of the whole society, she might be able to utilize that attention to her benefit. Yes, I'm just.
Well, you could have a point. Yeah, you could have a point.
Yes, that's just a little point I have. On the other hand, I also say to people like Becca that they should not fudge the issues, because that's exactly what she's doing in this respect. Here is an incident that has taken the whole world.
Very sensitive. It's a very sensitive
and
issue.
A very sensitive issue. Of course, we have our problems in Ghana, but we always go out to sympathize with people elsewhere when such issues come up. We always do that. So if people are sympathizing or empathizing with what has happened in the States, I think we should leave it at that.
Yeah.
Other than trying to bring up other issues beneath it, it doesn't help.
Let's find out Nyaitego's thoughts as well.
It's a bit but okay, so whatever happened in America is bad. Racism is a very big issue. Happens in the US, happens in England, and I'm sure in other countries too. It does happen. South Africa, it happens there as well. But you see, I agree with her when she says that there are issues happening here in Ghana that are happening in other countries, in other African countries, where we don't say anything about, and
which is false.
Pardon?
Because we do talk about those things. Maybe not to the degree she's expecting, but we do talk about them issues.
Okay, if a black American was killed in America, he's not the first black American to be killed. So for us to have some form of a tribute or something when other African Americans have been killed and we haven't done anything raises questions. I'm saying in the past years things that have gone on. When you take now when you come to let's say a Ghanaian marrying a Nigerian or a Ugandan, we all know what happens in our country.
What?
When a Ghanaian wants to go and marry a Northerner, we know exactly. We know what happens.
You and who know?
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not going to say you don't know. You know.
I don't know.
Maybe you are against me, but that is that is okay. We know what happens. Parents will ask, "Do you know this person? Do you know where they come from? What they do? Do you know their tribal? This, etc., etc." If you go to South Africa and you're going to do the same, it is there. I believe that ours I may be wrong, may be more prominent than what's happening in the US. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I mean, racism doesn't happen in the US. So I'm saying that ours may be more prominent. Maybe, just maybe, right about now, nobody really cares about anything. If you want to go and marry, go ahead and marry. So long as you are not bringing any trouble to us, we are fine. You understand? So yes, maybe things have changed. But when you guys were my age or younger than I was, I'm sure you guys saw things that trust me. We've never seen today.
Which guys are you talking about?
We did.
Are you excluding me?
All of them. Let's take just
what's the root source of racism? It's prejudice.
Yes.
And prejudice can be not just racist but tribalist.
Yes, I agree.
And it's all about prejudice.
Yeah.
And I think Becca was coming from that angle of prejudice. That look, man, sometimes we are prejudiced against
ourselves,
as our own selves. But we have to look at ourselves first,
which we know.
And so we have to do ourselves.
Uncle Ken, let them finish. Uncle Ken, let them finish.
A Ghana man is going to marry a Ghana woman. Your family will even begin to ask certain questions about the girls.
I know a certain man close to me.
I agree with Zapp.
I know a certain man close to me who was going to marry somebody back. I'm talking about the 60s. And he was refused in the family because he was Ewe.
Right.
And he said, whoa. Okay,
I've heard that. I've heard that a number of times.
So it's prejudice.
No, yes.
So at the end of the day, I think that prejudice thing was on Becca's mind when she was talking. Not just the racism, but the source of it being prejudice.
And because it has happened to her, or
well, and I don't
we all can run away from the fact.
One voice, yes. I mean, Uncle Kenny, I think we all have points. So bottom line, let's bring Kwame Rasta into the conversation quickly. Let's take his thoughts on this one. Today we need to make it very quick because we have a lot to catch up on. Even man, exactly. That's why he's still single. He's lost 2 women.
Remember the Samini and the
the Samini and the headmaster issue. Yeah, Rasta. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think that people have taken up arms against Becca just because of the timing.
Exactly.
Because if she had put up a tweet that was spelling out clearly her frustrations with how people came at her having married a Nigerian, then it would have been a completely different conversation. So I think it's just about the timing. And this is somebody that she feels. And I mean, her frustrations was that loud in that tweet.
Can I ask a question though? Yes. Has Becca not complained about the fact that she married a Nigerian and there were talks? Has she not complained before?
No, but even if she has complained,
I'm asking, before this, has she not complained?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
There's a video that I watched 2 days ago when Kofi Ochedakun interviewed her on Instagram. When it's a recent video, and she didn't really come out clearly, but you could sense that she harbored pain or some frustrations from that period and the way people went at her for having married a Nigerian. So people are using that to serve as a basis for more like there's a history of she wanting to come out and she chose this opportunity to.
All right.
So I think that serves as the basis for where she is coming from.
Okay.
She didn't kill anybody.
No, she didn't. Let's move forward. All right, let's go back to Noella. What else is in the news?
Let's do something international. Great. And I have sad news for you guys, but first listen to this. That was Sent Rain by Majek Fashek. Unfortunately, he just died. He died, he passed at age 57.
Niger brother.
And according to his longtime manager, he died in his sleep after battling, a short illness. So he died very peacefully, no stress.
When they don't know, they won't know they're there with him.
That's what the manager
said. When people die in their sleep, that doesn't mean they died in their sleep.
You know, Majek Fashek was in Ghana about 2 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
He was in Black Rasta organized a program at the beach.
And he was there.
I was at that show. Majek Fashek was present and he looked very sickly. I mean, he's been sick for a
Again, I would really want to die peacefully.
It's okay. You not move forward.
Majek is not the only one we lost this week. Castro's manager,
DJ Amen. Very sad.
Philip, it's really once a while he used to pop into the show. Because I think he was working with Adum FM then. You were hosting that. And I used to.
Very good.
Oh yes, I know. I am very sad.
Anyway, but apart from that, also despite media, we are fake.
Could you the MC's MC?
Your favorite MC's MC.
Man, that's a sad one.
And
very sad. Very sad.
So 3 people this week. 2 people actually. I don't want to annoy Grandmaster.
No, one person for me. The other 2
don't really.
You don't connect with them.
No connection with them.
Right. But before I go, bad one. Before I go, let me share with you some trends on social media. And football is still trending. Bayern is trending. Any reason why, guys?
Bayern Munich.
I don't know.
Let me check some tweets under that trend to find out if they are.
Stop this football thing.
I think it's Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich.
Because if they are winning, it will be the norm.
Okay, so basically they're showing, their solidarity for the Black lives. And that's why they're trending.
It's not fair.
What is
it? Not fair. Listen, football, 40% are the players. 60% are the supporters. And if the fans are not there, why are you playing? For
me, I think more than 60%.
Why are you playing the football?
But they'll latch on on TV.
They will very soon. Gentlemen, hold on. Gentlemen, let's allow Noella to finish this.
Anyway, John Mahama 2020 is also trending at number 2 for obvious reasons. His fans are, bigging him up on social media. Also, Black Lives Matter is trending. Lewandowski
A footballer.
No,
a footballer.
He's the striker for Bayern Munich.
Robert
Lewandowski.
I see. Black Stars is also trending. Gaddafi is trending. Wizkid is trending. And Pate Thomas. So let me find out in the tweets. Let me see if I get any. Okay, so Libya. Gaddafi.
Gaddafi. Oh.
So Libya was the world's poorest country in 1951. Gaddafi made it Africa's most developed country with $150 billion foreign reserves and zero debt. When they killed him in 2011 in a town, he pleaded saying, "What have I done to you?" And Sirte, which was the town in which he was killed, was later taken by the ISIS terrorists. So that's some indication for
But how did he achieve that?
Thank you very much. No, let's not. Please. That's politics. Let's leave the politics, gentlemen. Noella Karinyale, thank you very much for Showbiz this week. We are super excited. God willing, next week we'll have more news. Yeah? Thank you very much. So we're going to be going into a chat with the man Zapp Mallet. This man is a legend in the game, produced some of the biggest hits in this country. Let me say a very good afternoon to Mama Biama and Ko. How are you girls doing? And you know, I fell in love with Zapp Mallet. I mean, not the way you think it. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Way back in Legon in 2002, when on my birthday, the lady who was my girlfriend then, now my wife, bought me a CD that had this song. So here's a special one for parents and guardians. Joy Learning is intensifying teaching lessons in these times as COVID-19 cases in Ghana have compelled schools to shut down temporarily. Just tune your TV channel to Joy Learning and access all classroom lessons and other educational content. Rest assured that with Joy Learning, your children will not be left out behind classroom teachings while at home. Don't allow COVID-19 to prevent your child from learning. Joy Learning has you covered. With Joy Learning, education is secured, convenient, and easily accessible anywhere, anytime in the comfort of your home. Get a multi-TV digibox right now for your kids. Joy Learning, keep learning. And Joy Prime is celebrating authenticity and uniqueness of personalities in the creative art space. On Sunday, 14 June 2020 at 4 p.m. on the maiden edition, Joy Prime presents Wendy Shay. You don't want to miss out on this exciting live acoustic performance by the sensational songstress as she sings us through her major tracks in a virtual concert live on Joy Prime. Joy Prime presents Wendy Shay this 14 June at 4 p.m. Let's celebrate our stars. Make a date. So do you want to get access to the new Joy Learning channel on Multi-TV, or are you having any challenges with your Multi-TV digibox? Just contact Multi-TV for assistance on 0244 340415, 0244 340424, or 0302 226 163. Multi-TV, just thrills. And on Sundays, the footballers meet at the field. The Omotuo guys at their joints. The church folks share the grace, and friends and family come together to visit. But now with MTN Sunday Special, your Sundays just got a lot more special. For only 54 passwords, you can text and talk all day, every Sunday. And guess what? With 1 CD and 9 passwords, you can talk the whole day and get a cool 20 megabytes of data. Yes, just to go do your thing. And this is where it gets even more exciting. For 2 CD 17 passwords, you can call all other networks all day plus 50 megabytes of data for free. So who is it that you love talking to? Your mom, dad, sister, brother, or that special somebody? Just keep talking all day, every Sunday with MTN Sunday Special. Send yes to MTN short code 5050 to sign up on MTN. That's why we're good together. We're there for you everywhere you go. So song in the background, Odo Drew by the man Nanafin. Produced by the man Zapp Mallet. Haha. Zapp.
Yep.
Welcome again. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
The song was big. In fact, this album was lit. This was the Odo Handkerchief album, right?
Yes,
Odo Handkerchief.
Yes.
It had Odo Handkerchief, Odo Drew.
I can't
yeah, there were some slow ones.
Tell me the love story behind it again. You said
no, my girlfriend then in Legon, who's now my wife.
Yes.
Bought the CD for me. A birthday present. I think it was it 2003?
It's touching because when by White and Lionel Richie, they claim that sometimes people make babies.
Oh really?
So sometimes so when you hear a thing like this, like out of your your work, out of your hard work, somebody had love relationship, lit up. It makes you feel good. At least you did something right.
Yeah, that was the time she was trying to con me.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
But Zapp, how have you managed to keep it alive all these years? Because this was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it still sounds this good. And I mean, some of the songs, when somebody hears tra la 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 Odo Handkerchief Ninswayama, it's still a pretty good song.
Yeah. The thing is, George, my aim for whenever I attempt or attack, let me use the word attack, a production, I always want to do it with you, the artist, in mind. I don't do it with myself in mind. That is why mostly you don't hear me shouting at the back of my song.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. But
yeah, because my aim is for you the artist to look good. Yeah. Somebody will say to look gooder than me, the one who is behind. For me, it's my position or my situation to make you sound good. So I crave whatever I can. I do whatever I can to make sure you sound good and for your music to outlive you.
Yeah.
I don't do music.
Very important.
Yes, I don't do music for you to outlive with the music. I'll do music for the music to outlive you.
Yeah. Yeah, Zapp, I'm very sorry to cut into this, but I need to clear this. Do you think it is done for the producer or engineer to kind of be a bit more considerate on the charge?
No, Uncle Ken,
for producing the record, because I find it strange for me as an artist, and then the first few bars that come out of the record is about the engineer.
No, Uncle Ken, it's a good question, but I think we should hold on. It's a very important question, but just let me do 10 minutes.
I can answer.
You can answer. Hold on, don't worry.
I mean, after a while, almost all the DJs died, right? Yeah. But the music lived on. Yeah, you play some of them.
But Mallet has died.
Yeah. But you see, so the producer or whoever puts the song together is extremely important.
To put their name on the song?
We know that. To put their name on the song.
No, if you ask who produced the song, obviously we'll say
let's go to the liner notes and see who produced
it. Those things are happening today because there are no liner notes.
Exactly.
Let's continue. Don't worry. Let me finish with Uncle Zapp first, and then we'll get into the other
things are happening today because there are no liner notes.
Yeah.
You know, then there were liner notes.
Please wait. For the benefit of the upcoming, what are liner notes?
Uncle Ken. Like those days when we were printing CDs and records, we had notes on it to show who did what on a song.
Okay.
And those were the things the information that we had.
So digitization has killed that because these days the song is in the air.
No. The digitization. You see, the problem that people, the problem I have with people is that, you see, computer digitalization is just. It's giggle, garbage in, garbage out. So if you put garbage in, you get garbage out. It doesn't matter what you put in. If it's good, it will come out good. If it's bad, it will come out bad. So I don't see why we shouldn't be able to
add the liner notes. When you do the song.
Because even with it gives us even space. Because the digital space is so big.
Yeah.
It's not like limited to some length of paper or something, you know, because if it's a liner note, it's limited to even a length of paper and size of paper and all that. But digital, it goes. You can print as many things as you want.
Let us speak about you, Zapp Mallet. How long, or let me say, why didn't you choose any other profession but music production?
Yeah, why didn't I choose any? You can even say that I went to Tech. I went to KNUST and did pre-publishing. This afternoon, a friend of mine was asking me, so what did I read at KNUST? I said I read book publishing, 1985 to 1988. I read book publishing, and we were the second batch who did the book publishing for the course to be established in KNUST.
Interesting.
And the person was asking me, so why didn't I said, well, because I just wanted to go through the university education. I thought it was important for me. I'm not that kind of person who will just drop out of the way because this is what I want to do. So, you know, but I wanted to also show that, look, intellectuals can also get into this business anyway. So I did publishing, but at the end of the day, I said, look, this is what I want to. This is what I had always wanted to do when I was a kid, from growing up in Asylum Down.
Yeah. Oh, you grew up in Asylum Down?
Yes, I grew up in Asylum Down. Growing up in Asylum Down, this is all I wanted to do. And after school, I sat down and looked at it and scoped the whole scene, scoped the whole landscape, and I realized that, look, it will be better for me to be in the background, not like the artists to be in the forefront, but to be in the background to help the artist to project himself or herself, as it were. So that's what got me into this. And I haven't. Well,
not regretted.
My regrets. I have a few regrets, but not too much.
What are some of those regrets?
The regrets are that I'm in the right profession. I'm in the right vocation, but in the wrong location.
Put a bit more light on it. What I hear is that the profession doesn't pay.
You see, let me give you an example. You see the guy who wrote the Champions League anthem? He doesn't do any job again apart from the Champions League. Well, it's just coronavirus that has affected things. But you can imagine every performance of that song.
Every year.
Thank you. Every performance of that song at the stadium, in TV stations, gives him something. I read about him on the net. You can read about him. Champions League anthem. You read about the guy. He said he used to write scores and tracks for like performances. What do you call it? Theater performance.
Yeah, scores.
But now, because of that particular song, the Champions League anthem, Grandmaster, he chooses the song, he chooses the tracks, he chooses the jobs he does right now, just because of one song. One guy, Neighbors. You remember Neighbors?
Yeah.
You remember Neighbors in Australia? There was a struggling guy who was struggling, and he got the opportunity to write that song, Neighbors, and that was the change of his life. But you see, over here in Ghana, it's a different situation. You can do everything, but at the end of the day, you get nothing for it. For instance, let me give you an example. It might hit multimedia, but do you know this song? Yewa Adipa Adam TV. I did that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I wrote that song, but how much do I get for it? Nothing. Because it's work for hire.
And you were paid for the job that you did, and that's where it ends.
That's where it ends.
But
if I was in any other jurisdictions or other environments, I wouldn't do anything.
A system like Gumro would be taking care of you for that.
Gumro, that's a laugh.
Because shouldn't it be?
That's a laugh.
Or shouldn't? Are you registered with Gumro?
Yes, I am.
Have you received any royalty?
I used to be on the board.
When last did you receive any royalty?
Oh, just recently, the COVID, they distributed some. George, I don't want to
Zapp alone and
we'll finish with Zapp right now, then we come in.
I don't you know,
roughly like how much?
Please, let's not even talk.
500? 300?
They distribute some meager or some stipends and that's it.
Was it up to like 500?
Don't ask me.
Oh, we just want yes or no. Don't mention the figure. Just yes or no.
Just somewhere around. It won't get up to 1,000.
It won't get to 1,000. No. And that's for what exactly?
For you see, Gumro's problem is diverse. Is huge. Gumro's problem is that collection has been a problem. I used to be on the board, like I said. I was on the board for 2 years, served with under Kujoimchi for 2 years, but I had to leave because of certain reasons, and I realized that collection has been a problem for Gumro. Collection from radio stations, from TV stations, from users actually has been a problem. If they could align that up, or they could work that out, it will help us a lot. But it's been a problem. I don't know how they are going to resolve it. I don't know how they are going to.
For me, the way they even share the money is a problem for me. I've said several times that if somebody's music hasn't been played, why are you still giving the person money? But anyway, George, you remember when Francis and I had a show with Carlos Echi on GH1 some years ago?
That Pundit edition. Yeah, I do remember very well. Well, if you just tuned in, you're listening to Jordan at 9.7 FM. It's just 51 after 3. And we're having a chat with Zapp Mallet. Of course, it's Showbiz A to Z. We've also got in the studios Uncle Kennedy, the Grandmaster Nia Itego. Of course, Kwabe Rasta is here. Sadiq Abdullah Abu is also in the house with us. And we've just started having a chat generally with Uncle Zapp Mallet, and we've just spoken about Gamro. Zapp, I'm going to let you listen to something Kwakese said regarding Gamro a week ago, and then we'll take your thoughts on it, and then we'll come back and continue our conversation. Here is what Kwakese said regarding Gamro.
Are you a registered member of Gamro? Gamro doesn't work, so I don't even want to talk about it. Gamro, I'm a member of Gamro. The last time I went there, they met me with insults and a fight. So I don't even want to talk about it. So next time we went there to check our royalties and what is going on. And they directed us from one place to another, and and when we tried to question it, they started raining insults on us, and we retaliated, and it really turned into fake fight. But I just I want the world to know that Gambo is not doing anything for Ghanaian musicians.
What is the royalty situation in Ghana like? Have you earned any in the last couple of years?
From Ghana, no. But from iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify, it's going well. Apple Music pays me more, followed by iTunes and Spotify.
Right, and that was the man Insane Kwakese. I'm also looking for something Rihanna's manager sent to me on Facebook regarding Gamro, because I'm only going there because you said you were once an executive member.
Yeah, I was on the board.
So, what in your opinion is wrong with Gamro? Since you were on the board, you had that inside knowledge.
I think the problem has been with collection, because the collection of royalties has been an issue. Collection of licenses has been an issue for a long time. Anytime I go to the office, anytime I get to the office and I ask them that, oh Charlie, how are things going? I don't go to the CEO. I go to the guys down on the ground and ask them, Charlie, how are things going? And they tell me that, oh Charlie, the collection has been a problem. It's always a collection that has been a problem. And I think if they are able to sort out that collection issue, that shouldn't be that we should be able to solve the problem of Gamro, but they haven't been able to resolve that collection issue. Licensing from radio stations, TV stations, hotels, and all that, and sports and all that. They've not been able to
streamline appropriately.
Yes, so it's causing a lot of issues here and there, because you see, George, the thing is that, you see, we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
For me, I think that, look, there are other models we can look up to and just see how best we can adapt our situation to it. I think it's simple. We shouldn't try and develop our own thing. There are models around.
So while you were a member, what did you do in your capacity to help tempt
I tried to start a certain thing in Gamro by starting from the studio, where we document
the works.
Exactly, where we document it. So if George Quaye is come to record with Grandmaster,
with Shatawale,
Grandmaster, we put down everything. Like, okay, Shatawale is Shatawale song. Grandmaster is coming to do the programming.
Yeah.
George Quaye is coming to do probably some rap in it.
Yeah.
So we put it together in the studio, so that by the time it goes out, or by the time we are ready to submit it, we will be able to submit it to Gamro at the end of the day, that this is what we did from the studio. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I'm
saying.
So that straight from the studio source, we know who is in charge of what, or who is doing what, so that we don't have to go back to check. Straight from it. But that thing was, it fizzled out. You couldn't
achieve it.
We couldn't sustain it.
I want you to listen to something John Sharon, that is a wireless manager, wrote on Facebook, and then I'll put this Gamro discussion in perspective.
George,
yes, Rasta.
Zapp, this is your proposal.
presented it.
Yeah.
As a board member.
Yes, but it was even on the board. It was even not accepted on the board.
Okay.
The board didn't give me understand.
I just wanted to be clear that
to be clear,
the board level.
Yeah, and even at that level, it didn't fly. All right, let me quickly read this. That until Gamro operates correctly, no one in their right mind would invest in Ghanaian artists. Rexomar promised to sort this out when he became president, but so far, to the best of my knowledge, no transparent accounts have been published, which means no one knows what is collected, what the expenses are, and what is left over for distribution to music creators. George, I believe you are aware of the problems. We know that Gamro collects money from bars, hotels, and anywhere that plays music in public. What happens to that money? Because artists like Kwakase, Samini Dagati, Stoneboy, Edem, Reggie and Bodi have all gone public with the Ghana Music Alliance for Change voicing their concerns. So let's invite Gamro to publish a fully audited statement of income, expenditure and distribution so that all music creators, labels, investors can have confidence they will receive what is due them. Me?
Yes, sir.
What's your take on this? Is it about time Gamro published something for everybody to see?
Well,
could that be the beginning?
Well, I believe that should happen. That's number one.
Yeah.
I am against everybody registering with Gamro and then Gamro collects the money and goes to give it to people whose music is not played. I agree with Zapp when he says, well, the radio stations are, honestly speaking, really the problem. Most radio stations, well, who have programs managers, do not get their list of music from programs managers. So when I'm a radio presenter, I come, I play what I want, and I go home.
Yeah.
Uncle Ken comes in the evening, he plays what he wants, and then he goes home.
And nobody's logging anything.
Nobody's good. So if you come and ask the programs manager, please, what did Uncle Ken play? What did Nia play? you won't get a response.
Yes, but Nia, not to interrupt you. But at the end of the day, it's just a license you pay. It shouldn't be a problem.
No, you see,
it's a license the radio stations pay.
But that doesn't make it right. The license is more of a blanket thing.
Exactly.
You need an itemized.
Fantastic.
The itemized should go from Gamro.
No, the itemized should come from the radio station. It should come from anybody who plays music.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the whole week, let's say I come on air every single day, and I play a song from Shatawale.
Yeah.
Every itinerary that I give or every statement that I give should say that every day I played a song from Shatawale. I played a song from George Quaye. I played a song from Zapp Mallet. You understand?
Yeah.
So that when Gamro come in and they come and deal with the radio station, they will say that, okay, you played 500 songs from this person, you played 500 songs from that person, it's going to cost you this amount of money. You get me? Then when Gamro takes the money from the radio station, then they can tell the artist that you had 500 songs played from radio station A, you had 500 songs played from radio station B, so this is how much we are going to give you. You understand? Now, I intentionally asked George whether he remembers when myself and Francis Duku and I mentioned his name.
Yeah, it was Carlos Tichy. And it was a very hot debate.
Very hot debate.
Oh, right.
And
one of the first editions of Pundit.
Some really
rudimental
good questions. Well, before we had Carlos had left or he had been removed, I honestly don't know why.
He was chased out.
Well, whichever way.
Oh, after that show.
That was when we came.
Okay, good. But since then, nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Absolutely nothing has changed. I hear some Gamro people still sitting on air saying the same old things and doing absolutely nothing.
That's why
if you can if you can go to court and tell the court that, you know what, radio stations are supposed to pay XYZ amount of money per song.
Yeah.
They are not paying. So why don't we give them a blanket charge? Every month, pay 10,000, pay 20,000.
Yeah.
You understand? That way.
But that's what's happening.
Yeah, but that was happening.
But that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So
that's in court. So it's not. So if they're okay,
so there's an understanding that these blanket fees are paid to Gambro, but the reality on the ground is it is far from what is happening. So
there are issues. Even within Gambro itself, there are people who did songs in 1970 who don't have their songs played on radio today, and I'm using radio because I can't deal
and are collecting
but
the point is that how much royalties are they collecting? The point is that how much royalties are they collecting? But if they are collecting royalties, they are not collecting royalties more than
No. But hold on, Uncle Zapp, you see what Niantego is saying is very true. I remember at my mother's funeral. They came to stop the DJ because he was supposed to have paid something that he hadn't paid. They stopped him, and we had to cough up about 800 or some funny money like that.
Where did that money go?
I don't know.
So you see,
there were reps from Gambro. They came to stop it.
Yeah, and that's the law anyway.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
So the point is, if you're collecting, like John Sharon said, who are you giving what you're collecting to?
Now, they give it to members of Gambro. There are persons out there who have a platform.
Good. I don't want
to talk about it.
That is what I was telling you last last week, 2 weeks ago. That is wrong. That if you are collecting money on behalf of all copyright,
then change the law.
Sadiq, hold on. Let me finish.
You collected money on behalf of all copyright owners, singers, writers, producers, everybody, whatever.
Beat makers.
You collected all the money, and just because I am not a member, you don't give me money. That is wrong.
Okay, so George.
Yeah.
Have you been introduced?
Okay, all right. Sadiq, Uncle Ken is right. Listeners, let me also say good afternoon to Sadiq Abdullah Abu. He's just joined us on the studio. As usual, he was a little late, but he got here eventually. Uncle Ken, please, can we move on now?
Move on.
Thank you very much.
Now that you have introduced you can move on.
Sadiq, let's hear you.
I mean, he is right.
Yes.
And also, the way the law works is that once they are the only collective, society in the country, they're supposed to collect on everybody's behalf. But for you to actually get from them, you're supposed to have gone to register to assign them the rights best for you. Now, however, I know the question you are going to ask. The question me is going to ask is that. Yes, go ahead. However, under Rexoma, for instance, and currently, they started something which is brilliant, which I found out. Now, I realized that a lot of the people making a lot of this thing do not know where they've gotten to and do not even understand the law itself. So under Rexoma started something where he called undisbursed funds or something. So in this case, if the money had come in and let's say X is supposed to go to Rasta, the fact that Rasta has not come to take a register does not mean they will disburse it. Previously, what they were doing was that if Rasta doesn't come and take, they will disburse. To who?
They will share it among themselves. They are members. They are registered members.
The registered members can.
That's right.
Now there's a problem. The problem there is that in the way they are sharing it now, there's a problem because there's no structure, there's no basis. That's why I agree. That's the part I agree with the campaigners, for instance, to say that look, you need to have a basis of sharing. So if you are doing a pay-per-play, mind you, if you have the pay-per-play in the system, it's not every musician that will get to.
Yes,
pay-per-play recognizes currency.
Exactly.
So, but as far as it enhances the equitable distribution, it works. So now what they are saying is that look, institute the pay-per-play so that now you don't do a blanket distribution where that person who, by virtue of the fact that he's come to register, but his song is not being played or used commercially by anybody, and every month will come for that 100 cedis, the person doesn't get. However, make sure that the person who's actually doing the work gets it, which is fantastic. So that is the next phase of it that I say that we should go. However, once we're having the conversation, my commentary to a lot of them is that the things that should have been done 20 years ago, by now there's certain things that we should have having to impact the entire industry. If we're looking for real change, it should include the campaign today should include all of that and not the piecemeal approach to say, okay, fix this, 10 years down the line, let's come and fix. The world and the globalization that is coming now, it's moved.
Thank you. Thank you.
George. Yes, and last word, because we have a show on Gambro. Yes, so let me hear you quickly so we can move on with that. Yes, have you? No, hold on.
slow down this track.
Hold on, don't worry.
This is the reason why.
Don't worry. It's good. We are not going down. It's a good thing.
Yes,
we'll find time for it. Yes.
But George, I don't like the caveat you put in.
Which one?
Because it means that you do not want me to speak to the.
Oh no, please. You said speak. You have the mic. Speak.
You have the floor.
I'm only.
Oh wait, should we give you fans first?
No, I don't want anything. You see, I was going to say that this my son Abu has so much sense when it comes to the industry. And now look at what he has done. He's rather making fun of me. He has so much sense when it comes to the industry. And that's why I love him.
Yeah.
The points he had just put across.
Now I feel jealous.
No, but this is my elder son. Yeah, he is my elder son, and so as for him, he's the one there. But he has just made the points so succinctly, you know, and I love that about him, and that is why I get aggravated when he does not turn up on time.
Okay. Yeah. Can I say something?
No, let him learn quickly. Then we'll. Please,
do you know Anunyam?
No.
He's one of the Telfers. He's an artist in Ringway Estates.
Yeah.
You know him from years back.
Maybe I know.
He's one of the. You know Benjari Telfer?
Yeah, I know Benjari.
Benjari's elder brother.
Oh, okay.
Anunyam. He's an artist, but he changed his name and decided to get very local.
Okay.
Now he sent me a text. He says, Zapp, in those days your dad at Asylum Down repaired the equipment of all the musical groups in Accra. How did that influence your choice of profession?
Good one.
I thought it was a brilliant
very good question. Thank you for bringing us back.
A lot of us don't know.
Thank you so much for bringing us back.
Yeah, you see.
I hope you said that in a good way.
Yes. Oh yes. You brought us back to the conversation.
Did you see my
thank you very much.
Did you see my head drop?
Yeah.
I with my relationship with my dad, I was always going with him to his workshop.
Okay.
To go and repair. That
instruments
was
and
the job
stuff.
he did.
Okay.
For his living, for his livelihood.
Oh, interesting.
And I was always in touch with these musicians. From CK Man, you can mention them.
Oh wow!
From the military, the military regiments all had a band. George, from Reke to Signals, they all had a band, and so I had that affinity to go into music. I was so determined. I felt so close to music that I couldn't resist it. And so I found myself going to it after university in 1988, after I finished university. I realized that, look, this is what I had to do. It was a calling, actually. And, you know, it's a bug. Music is a bug, George. When it bites you,
you feel no pain.
You feel no pain and you can't recover.
Yeah,
that's right.
COVID self better. Telling you, COVID-19 self is better. When you get bit by that bug, you're born for life. This message says, hello GQ. Today I'm happy to listen to the show because Zapp Mallet. Because of Zapp Mallet. I never knew he produced Nana Finn's or The Handkerchief album. That's one of my favorite all-time favorite high life albums. I wish there could be a compilation of all his works for us the young ones to know his works. Great man.
George, another text message I got from a very decent arts writer, Kofi Akpabli.
Oh, great. Yes, I know Kofi Akpabli.
Yeah, I know you know Kofi. He says, hi, Uncle Ken, I'm enjoying your chat. But I wish to humbly comment on something that just occurred during your chat.
Yeah.
When the death of Majek Fashek was announced, the convo and comments were unfortunately full of laughter. Listening at that point, it felt uncomfortable. I know it was not deliberate, but it was in bad taste. Say hi to George.
We apologize. We take it back. I mean, sometimes some of these things come up, and we're not laughing at the fact that somebody passed. We're laughing at the fact that you said you didn't know him or something like that, which is if I didn't know him, I don't know him, and that was what actually brought out the laughter that he didn't know him. You know, and all that. Yeah, but we're going on.
George, I still want to say something.
Go ahead quickly, so that we can get back to Zapp's conversation.
It's not like I don't agree with Sadiq when he mentions the law and certain things that should happen. But I have told Sadiq that if you have certain people registered, right, and you are only going to give money to those registered people, including those whose songs are not being played, then when you go to the radio station, tell them that I have 100 members, I don't have 2,000. So even though the biggest song or biggest artist you are playing for is not our member, keep his money. Keep his money. Give us the songs, the money for the 100 people. Yeah, listen, I am not saying I disagree with you. I am telling you. You see, sometimes when you work on the ground, you realize how effective you become. You then realize, or the people who don't want to register will say that, hey, okay, these 100 people are being paid. Let me go and register. But if in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or God knows how many years, things are not going right from, let's say Gamro, and I'm using Gamro because Gamro is in charge.
Yeah.
How do you expect somebody like me to come and register?
You see, what I want to say is that the point is that
no, we have to move on. We will have another conversation on Gamro.
We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
There are so models that we can.
That we can just
models that
we can just look at and move forward. You have
like
the point. Yeah.
And you'll forget.
Exactly. Zapp, let's come back to your conversation with you. In April, something happened.
What happened?
There was a conversation that involved yourself and Sarkodie. I mean, when there was this trend about music producers and music challenging each other behind the heads and all that, and Sarkodie called you and mentioned JQ, Apietus, Kaywa, Hama, and I think MOG, and said you should also throw yours out. Were you upset by that invitation?
I not to say I was really upset. I wasn't upset. Actually, I thought that I was beyond that. Personally, everybody has his or her own opinion about him or himself, and I thought that I was beyond that. I thought that it had to be kept at their level or whatever level it was. So I didn't have any qualms about it. Actually, I wasn't against that act at all. I wasn't against the event.
Yeah.
But just for the fact that George, that I was going to be placed into it, who was I going to be
paired with or matched
with? Because these are people whoever I was going to match with was somebody who I was when I was making hits. That person was probably in school. You understand what I'm saying? So I just thought that look. And the statement, whatever I've ever said concerning that George, is that it wasn't just for me as Zapp Mallet, but for general.
Yeah.
Because if it was you, George Quaye, being paired with somebody else like that at that level, you wouldn't even be happy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just talking.
So you felt disrespected?
No, not necessarily felt disrespected.
Because in your tweet you said there is something called respect, which is lacking in Ghana today.
Anyway, I felt disrespected. That I have to speak the truth. But I just didn't have any qualms with it. I felt that I was speaking out of concern for the industry. I was speaking out of a total concern for the industry. But I thought that if we could do that with Zapp Mallet, we could also do that with somebody else. And it wouldn't be right if we did that with that person. So I just thought that, look, I just want to step out of it so that those who would be for it will just go on and get along with it and have fun with it.
Would you have been okay if you were paired with, say, Sami Helwani?
Yeah, that would have been, or Bessa Simons, or that would have been fine.
Or something. Okay.
But
so you felt it was just a mismatch?
I just felt it was just a misfit, you know, a mismatch. You know, I just didn't like it.
It's like asking me to go into a DJ battle with me.
Yes. after all the cassettes, after all the cassettes,
you never know what he could do.
no, but after all the cassettes that you've been through.
No, I know.
No, but all the cassettes. So I just thought that, but I didn't. But you know something. In another interview, I stated that, look, Sarkodie was my favorite rapper.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Because I was about to ask you who your favorite Ghanaian artist is.
He's my favorite rapper. For now, he's my favorite rapper. I don't have any problem with anybody. George, how can I have a problem with people in the industry?
Yeah.
You're all my favorites. You're all my pickings, my brothers, my sisters.
You like all of them. But
I like all of them.
You have a favorite.
I love all of them.
And to be fair to you, he was not even addressing Sarkodie directly.
I wasn't addressing Sarkodie directly. I made a statement. I said, look at this. Look at it this way. If it was you and you are in that position and this is being done to you, you wouldn't like it.
Exactly.
So it shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be something that we encourage.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
At other times, couldn't you have offered some names, like he mentioned Sami and Bessa, and you were comfortable?
But I don't think it was in his place.
No. I'm saying that because when he asked you whether you were upset, you said you were not really upset.
I wasn't upset.
Now you are saying that if other names had popped up, you would have volunteered.
Rasta, you see the problem is that I think that at the end of the day, at a certain point, we were even made to feel that we were irrelevant in the system.
Okay, so you are pained with that.
Not really pained, but it's like, allow me to rest. You allow me to rest.
Exactly.
You allow me to relax.
But check this. You see, for some of it, that would have offered an opportunity to get to know your work.
If you want to know my work, research and find my work. Don't come and put me against somebody.
Talking about his
work. If you
work.
want to find my work. Don't come and put me against somebody.
We'll come back to that.
Talking about his work. Talking about his work. Here's one for those who do not know. Zapp Mallet worked on this beautiful track and a number of others from Lord Kenya. As we go through the interview, we'll play some of his songs. Let me quickly mention that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, just as all play and no work makes Jack a lazy boy. You've been learning from home all this while on Ghana's educational channel, Joy Learning. Now it's time to have some fun and prove to other schools how beautiful your uniforms are. Follow Joy Learning on Instagram at joy_learning TV. Take a beautiful picture of yourself in your uniform from home. Post that picture and tag us at joy_learning TV #uniform challenge. With this done perfectly, you have the opportunity to win the bragging rights at the school with the most beautiful uniform in GH, as well as the best dressed student title, and be acknowledged on all our social media handles and Joy Learning TV. I was saying earlier in the week that this competition, Kwabuchi boys will not go if you do so. Because where we are, uniform, they like with the go for now. All students are cautioned to stay off this contest, but if you still have your uniform as fresh and beautiful, you can try. Why not? Enjoy learning, keep learning. Your in-depth Christian infotainment program is back on your radio. For the silent listeners, join at 9.7 Design every Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m. It is tailored to inspire, educate, empower, and motivate listeners to glorious Christian living in all facets of life. Discussions on kingdom matters, progressive Christian living, marriage, and relationship matters are topical on the program. Join Pastor George Quaye and his spirit-filled discussions as we develop a closer walk with Jesus every Sunday 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. here on Joy 99.7 FM. A walk with Jesus is a light unto my path. Now let me say a very special afternoon to my man Dr. Arthur Sakifiu, aka Gbe. Good to know you tuned in, bro. Get ready to develop into the world of math. Enjoy learning. Ghana's first educational TV channel in collaboration with Willow brings you a 2-week math festival with your experienced TV teachers on the Revision Show. Mathematics Festival comes to you live on the Revision Show. Get your notebooks and pens and look out for the Mathletics segment on the Revision Show to be a mathlete and win a virtual scholarship for yourself and 5 of your mates and study on the Willow app for free. Make a date with your mathematics TVT show on the Revision Show Mondays to Thursdays 7 p.m. starting June 1st, 2020. Started already. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Joy Learning TV and Instagram at Joy_Learning TV. Joy Learning, keep learning. So we're going to come back into the studios and we're going to be continuing our chat with the legendary Zapp Mallet. Again, yes, before we went into those LPMs, you had the mic.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Maybe I didn't announce it, but you did. I have given you the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. There are 2 issues that I couldn't get to raise because I read text messages from listeners. Who have been accusing us of not reading
their messages.
Immediately I read their text messages, I was curtailed.
Yeah.
So I didn't even make my submission.
Can you make your number public again, please? So we proceed with the
Zapp, I still want to be with the conversation with Zapp.
Yeah.
When you spoke about liner notes, right, from the past, and compared the situation to what's happening now, I wanted to say to you that is it because now the music production is about somebody coming up with something, walking into a production house, talking to an engineer and saying to the engineer, get me a beat that I can do this over, and that's it. Whereas before, when we talk about music production, it was about somebody coming up with the music, another putting lyrics to the music, somebody arranging the whole thing, getting to an engineer to engineer the product, then moving on to those people who advertise or market the product. So it was a long list of, we then come to people who play on the songs, because them days it was not about playing horns from the computer. The hornsman had to be there physically to blow his horn. Okay, so them days when you were creating music, you needed to give credit to all these people who has participated in the production. Today, one person can walk into his or her studio, so they claim, and come out with a banger, as you call it. And that's the end of the story. So then they don't need any credits.
Fruity Loops.
No. Look, Nia, whether Fruity Loops or not, whether Fruity Loops or not, whether Flowers Loop or whatever, you should be able to give the person what he is due. it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the person is using. Once the person is a creative, this song Party and Bullshit.
Yeah. Sakode and Elba. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, great. That's interesting.
Yes.
We didn't know that.
I have songwriting and production credit.
Yeah, but has it been put out?
Yes, Universal Records
on Party and Bullshit.
Yes, because I just.
Are you credited for what you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Songwriting and songwriting production.
Let me. The listeners of Joy FM have already sent. They'll come and complain right now that we are saying BS on radio. Please, the title of the song we are not saying. Let me just issue the disclaimer.
Party and BS.
Party and BS. I beg you.
So you see, it doesn't matter, Uncle Ken. It doesn't matter what format is used. Once you are part of the creative process,
it should be.
You should have credits on it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Look, there are songs that sometimes I read a lot and I go on YouTube a lot and read from information a lot. Sometimes some songs, maybe me I take we know if you find this word, this down word, we look for Nuncho.
Yes.
And he's credited for it.
Exactly.
Just for adding that word Nuncho, he's credited for it. So it doesn't really matter what you use or the format you use.
Okay, I'm glad you have been able to sort that out. Yes. My second point is that Zapp sitting here produced the biggest selling album that I had with an artist.
Interesting.
Back in the day. And that is Nana Yaoredu. Nia knows. Yeah, Ni's friend. Sadiq, why are you like that? You always spoil everything.
Sadiq, please don't interrupt.
Give me some business.
And it was not until Ni Ayitego explained to me what those lyrics in that particular hit meant. I didn't know. I just loved the instrumentation Zapp created with the song, and it bowled me over, and I was ready to say, let's go and sell. Back in the days where Despite was at Cantamanto, I tell you what, we sold a lot. I don't want to mention the title of the song.
Let's continue.
Zapp, do you remember the song?
I don't know. I don't remember. That is why. Look, there's a lot of things I've done that I can't remember.
Yes, that is why.
Don't worry.
That is why we will need to mention.
No, Reggie Rockstone has his own music that sometimes he doesn't even remember the title.
And when you speak about Reggie Rockstone, hold on. You just taken me there when you spoke about Reggie Rockstone. You produced a lot of Reggie Rockstone songs.
Yes. You know what?
From Reggie's very first album.
Yes, when Reggie came to Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes, when Reggie came to Ghana, Reggie was with Freddie Funkstone. And they went to hip hop. At that time, and they were a very good hip hop group duo. They used to be called Party at Amazon, if you remember. PLZ. Yes, and they were fantastic. I saw them to be very at par with most of hip hop groups in America, but they didn't have that push. And so after a while, Reggie thought that, look, I have to make some impact on my own. So he came off Reggie Funkstone and then came to Ghana and then to work on, and then he fell on me. Another time, I used to work with Reggie Funk, with him and Reggie Funkstone.
Okay.
Yeah, but when he came to Ghana, he came to fell on me, and we worked on his stuff. And from Ago, the rest is history. You know, we didn't regret. You know, it was fun. It was a fun road to travel. We were traveling on because we didn't know where we were even going. But we were happy to go there
because it was new. It was
new. It was totally new.
Looking at the journey hip life has taken, where it is today, is this the dream, your ambition you had at the time?
Well, no, not really. But at least we are happy that other people we are happy that other people have taken up after us, and they're happy, and they are also fulfilling themselves after us. We are I'm just happy that we took up somewhere and some other people. Yes.
Let me bring Sadiq into the conversation. Sadiq.
Your work with Reggie and the early creators of Hip Life. I mean, according to some of the people that were there, makes you the creator of the Hip Life sound. I mean, even though Reggie Rockstone is founded a wrong commercial, but the sound. I mean, there's been commentary that you are the creator of the Hip Life sound. Is this something that you share in as well?
No, honestly, for me, I think it was just a movement that we all share in, and so I find it a bit awkward when somebody wants to take credit for it. When one person wants to take credit.
No, the sound, the creation of the sound, not the movement. Reggie is credited for starting.
My argument is simple. It is hip hop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one person or a couple of people decided to name it Hip Life.
Yes.
Because if one person says, I named it Hip Life, and the reason I named it Hip Life is I am rapping in P over
hip hop
beats. That is what makes it Hip Life. Then the next album, the person raps in English over Ghanaian beat and still calls it hip life. Why is there sense in that? You understand?
He started the whole.
I don't get it.
So my question. So that's why I'm saying that.
I don't get it.
Go down that line.
No. But I'm trying to get Uncle Zapp to give us like a proper account of the early days of hip life. That's what I'm trying to do. With regards to the sound.
That's what I'm saying. That it's not really for me. It's not really about the sound. It's about the concept. It's about the drive that we all decided. Look, at that time, hip hop was
booming. It was big
in the early 90s.
Yeah,
it was a culture, and at that time, we felt. You see, don't forget that African music or American Ghana music has been flirted with American music for a long time.
Yeah.
Has Ghana music has flirted with the long Ghana music from drum music from the 60s to the 70s to the 70s to the 80s. African music, Ghana music, up to Boga Alive. Ghana music was flirting with American music. Not just women music, American music. So when we got the Hype Life, that was in the 70s. When we got the Hype Life, it was like, look, okay, this is a new genre of music, but how do we get it to get to our people? How do we serve our people with the same soup or with the same flour, by the same ingredients?
You brought a touch to it,
and we put a touch to it,
which made it a varied version of the hip hop.
Varied version of hip hop.
I think we need to find time, then we can, because this conversation, when we start, we have two very key conversations coming up, and one with that I would want Uncle Zapp to also speak to, which is the one that has to do with the music production and its changes there. Nia Itego and I have been having a debate on it since yesterday morning, and we're still debating. We were looking at fortunately you've also been on the BGMA board, and you are also an astute producer.
I've always been on the BGMA board. Yes. I've always been background.
Exactly. And the argument is that when you take a look at some of the songs that have won one of the next biggest category after Artist of the Year, Song of the Year. In fact, Song of the Year for a very long time used to be the biggest category, the biggest honor of the evening. When you look at the chronology of some of the songs that have won,
the English language
not chronology. When you look at the year, I'm using chronology in reference to year. Okay, when you look at the times and years, some of the songs that have won, and you ask yourself today, where are those songs?
You see?
No, we are not there yet. We'll get there. Then our next conversation would be in relation to upcoming acts and why they do not. Many have said that every time an upcoming, I don't know if you yourself even an upcoming act, Daddy, please help me. That use of the word help, is it the genesis of the problems between artists and their management? Because from the beginning there is no business conversation. It's not a business relationship. It is, let me just help you get somewhere. Those are some of the things we're going to be looking at. We'll come back shortly. And this is the song that Uncle Ken was talking about.
Those days, when you were sampling, how did you go about getting
If you had come earlier, you would have known that it's been answered already.
You said what?
How did you go about getting, permission?
We are going back.
What permission?
We just are having fun. That's a very like Shikaba and you know when you're connected to Shikaba. He just came to the rap and he went away.
He went away
to Kumasi. And I just sat down and said,
No, he was in Japan. So he came from Japan to do the rap.
Yeah, so he just came to do the rap and then he went away to Kumasi. And I just sat down and said, oh, let me just flip this thing by him. And then it worked. So we went to actually, like, we were going to particularly work on something, but we just have fun and it worked.
So if younger artists today in the similar way when they are having fun and everything.
Yeah. Come again.
But isn't that the fun somebody is going to have and he's in trouble?
If a younger artist today picks your sampled song of the original which you didn't get permissions for instance, and also that's it, and claims that he was
that's where the problem comes in. Where's permission? That's the permission. That's where the permission comes from. How to where they get the permission and stuff like that. But apart from that, artistically, we can just have fun and just enjoy what we are doing.
So far as
the business aspect of it, what comes to complicate things. Now I have plans and now this person go do this person go do that. But at the end of the day, when we just say that we're just having fun, we can just have fun endlessly, and we don't have it tuned. Then we don't have any substance of it.
Sadiq,
we're out of time on this one. No, let me quickly, I beg you. Sorry, pardon me. Rasta hasn't spoken at all on this one. So let's hear Rasta and then we can move on. Yeah, Rasta.
He has spoken plenty.
Rasta, let's make it quick. We're out of time on this one. Yeah.
I am not excited at I was going to raise this bit of sampling.
The sampling, yeah.
When Hip Life is supposed to have started, him pioneering the bit of production.
It
was.
It's not a bit.
When he pioneered it,
the main production.
No, I'm saying that the bit of
the
production.
Bit.
The bit.
Sorry.
Yes. So it was heavily leaning on sampling. You know. So if today, coincidentally, we are having as one of our subjects touched on a copyright infringement issue. And we have you here, and thankfully, in your corner we have Uncle Ken, who we found out is also who profited from sampling. Congratulations. But you see, I don't think that we should preach in this day and age that we should have fun, or we should. I mean, the conversation right now is more like you are encouraging that bit of copyright infringement.
No,
fun.
No.
Listen, we have youngsters.
No,
you guys are legends.
No,
you pioneered it, and you erred.
Did you hear my last submission?
Yes, I heard you.
My last submission.
Yes, I heard
and
you.
I did say in that submission that the proper thing to do is to seek permission.
Yes, but as you said, you haven't not done the proper thing back.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
You have not apologized for it.
Oh. Because I had not apologized, I would not advise.
No, as well,
anybody.
I heard you or Uncle Zapp say that. Listen, having had fun with these things, it is wrong. Moving forward.
That's what we said. That's what I said.
What
I said the right thing to do is to seek permission before usage.
Uncle Ken,
isn't that?
Did you register this?
Hold on. Isn't it embedded in that the fact that it was wrong to have done it in the past?
You want me to make deductions for you?
I expect you to understand the basic English.
Okay. No. Let's move forward. Rest there. I think you've made your point. Your point is you want an apology. Why? Is the music for your father?
It's not going to happen.
You know who you should go to for a lot of apologies?
No.
Okay, Gumante. When you say him, tell him
thank you. I like the names.
You mean he's the king of sample, eh?
There's this bit that Uncle Zapp touched on.
Yeah.
The bit about CD liners and then credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that times have changed. Today he came in here with Quaye.
Yeah.
And he's cataloging this for his social media handles, for instance. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. And it is key for a behemoth like Uncle Zapp Mallet to have.
What was the word you used? Behemoth.
I don't know what you mean.
You know what I said behemoth. You said what?
Oh, behemoth.
It means like huge.
Okay.
Huge.
Oh, okay. I've never heard the word. And that's why I'm asking.
So you want a repeated?
Yes. Okay. So I love the word.
So yes,
it's not a word I use to describe a human being, though.
Okay, I'm having a good time, yeah.
I meant to great TV, and I mean,
so
go ahead. For him to have his catalog, I mean, Quaye following him and doing what he's doing, it is like it comes with the era,
the terrain, the times and seasons.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
What some of us would wish that he slackens is with some like that lineup bit. I do not know. I didn't know that he produced your
but you heard the song?
Yeah, I heard the song.
Back in the day?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
But if he had his signature in the way that the latter day producers are doing that, he's not really.
You might have known straight away.
I would have, and others listeners would have known that. Oh, so it is indeed true that Adum FM.
Okay. Nothing stops you from asking questions. You come across something you don't understand, or you want to find out more information. Ask questions.
I agree with you. So, but you see, for me to go and download an album liner and find out that indeed Zapp did XYZ, that is some work.
Listen, hold on. Songs that we don't know what the liner is. We don't know who produced it. All we know is the artist who sang.
Yeah.
If you know the artist who sang, call the artist and say, "Masa,
who do the interview?" But I think the point is that those liners and stuff, when they are put up, you and I may not read.
Yes,
it's probably not for us.
Yes.
It's probably not for us. But I think the point being made was that it's good that it's there.
Yes.
If it is there, whoever needs it, go for it. Yeah, that's it.
If you should hear it in the music, for instance.
No, he didn't say you should put it in the music. That the guitar you understand? Maybe when you know
in our space, when he started his submission, he mentioned that his location, for instance, is the main reason he is not
I disagree with you.
No, you can disagree, but he mentioned his geographical location as being a blight on his fortunes. If he were in other jurisdictions,
he when he did the Adum FM signature, which I am marveled that he did.
What Zapp was,
he would have been earning so much.
Really trying to talk about was the way in which we live in Ghana.
Yes, it is part of my argument.
We're working in another radio station. By now, Ken Adi may probably be living in a 4 or 5 bedroom house. Better, I know. I'm just saying.
You know when I
don't value certain things. So that is what Zapp was talking about.
You know when I was doing that.
Okay, gentlemen.
I didn't think. I don't TV.
Yeah.
I thought I was just doing something to help a TV station to project itself, not knowing in other jurisdictions this thing that you had done. This thing that I had done, we could live it for life.
We made that point earlier. Yeah, point well said. We're going to be moving on and then get into our next conversation. Yeah, we're going to be getting into our next conversation soon. But for those that don't know, here is one other work produced by the man.
Here's to the little details.
So, what are you doing?
I'm just chilling in my room.
No, you're not.
To long distance friendships.
I just got to Bumpurugu Yoyo.
Hey, hold on. The conversations that never end.
So I met up with my friends, and we were going, and we walked. Hello? Hello, Mario. Hey, Mario, what da?
And friendships that need support. Hey, bro. I make dry.
Bro, check your Momo wallet.
Bro,
you know it's a day for you.
Whoever you are, whatever your needs, there's so many ways to talk, text and browse for long on Ghana's #1 network, MTN. Just dial 505 and choose from a wide range of offers to enjoy the most amazing mobile experience.
We're there for you, everywhere you go.
Don't let COVID-19 keep you away from your favorite shopping destination. Visit the Junction Mall and observe the safety protocols instituted to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Grab your designer shirts, dresses, shoes, and bags with masks to match from our vast array of fashion outlets. Yes, get a free mask to match every dress you buy from the Junction Mall this season. Let's fight the coronavirus pandemic in style. Update your closet with the latest fashionable clothes and accessories at the best discounts of up to 50% off. Remember, no mask, no entry. Hashtag stay safe, hashtag stay healthy. Follow our social media handles at The Junction GH for further details. The Junction Mall. Join, explore, shop, enjoy.
Accidents do happen. It could be a motor accident, a sudden heart attack, or even a stroke, or any other health emergency. The first steps you take are very critical. Should you be involved in or witness an accident, call 112 for the fastest ambulance response. With over 300 well-equipped ambulances all over Ghana, you are assured of the fastest response to your emergency call. Call 112 during critical health emergencies and save your life and that of your family and loved ones. 112, help will come. 112, we are safe. Avoid prank calls as they can lead to loss of life of persons in actual need of help. Be a responsible citizen.
Hello there, hop in. Let's go on a ride to the countryside. Prepare for smoothness through Countryland. Every Sunday between 10 a.m. and midday, tune in to Joy 99.7 FM for your favorite country music. Lock it in on your calendar. It's Countryland on Joy 99.7 FM. Simply call me Iggy.
Countryland on Joy 99.7 FM.
Hello, students. How well can you answer very simple, interesting riddles? Come, let's test our smartness on the Joy Learning Trivia Riddles. How do you participate in this interesting and rewarding challenge? Follow these tips. 1. Follow us on all Joy Learning social media handles. Facebook at Joy Learning and Twitter at Joy Learning TV. 2. Check out the Daily Riddle on Joy Learning TV and all our social media handles. 3. Post your correct answer to the riddle of the day on our social media handles. Get the answer correctly and be rewarded with a well-deserved acknowledgement on Ghana's first educational TV channel, Joy Learning. Joy Learning Trivia Riddle. Let's learn with fun and lots of excitement. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
Accidents do happen. It could be a motor accident, a sudden heart attack, or even a stroke, or any other health emergency. The first steps you take are very critical. Should you be involved in or witness an accident, call 112 for the fastest ambulance response. With over 300 well-equipped ambulances all over Ghana, you are assured of the fastest response to your emergency call. Call 112 during critical health emergencies and save your life and that of your family and loved ones. 112, help will come. 112, we are safe. Avoid prank calls as they can lead to loss of life of persons in actual need of help. Be a responsible citizen.
I'd run the pata pata and pay you the cents, you know. The same means to me, no. Then come in and be struggling after the after get any move up. I'd run the pata pata and pay you the cents, you know. The same means to me, no. Angelina Cometa, yeah, this is where I get papa. Macarena Kamapuga, she go back. Angelina Cometa, yeah, this is where I get papa. Macarena Kamapuga. Go back. Yeah, that's the way to get out. Yeah, that's the way to get out. Baby, you the baby. Smile, make I see your info. Pretty girl, I'm loving your touch. A bad girl, bring you the lingo. I never ever say you bye-bye. Never ever leave you single. Anytime I did by your side, you make me feel so simple. Simple, my baby, simple. You make me simple. You treat me right. Ma, make I see your info. My baby, simple. You make my simple. It's a K. Ma, you Andy.
Alright. You know, say money no be problem. Man is on the block. Alright, I'm back again. You know what time it is? Straight up. Alright, what's up? Listen. A bank man that came and Missy Ma, Michelle, she been a me froze who win Jina. Wakuma Fenati Chitty, me yam Mimbuna, and we send my reason at the real day, Juma, or Piebo, what did I dear Pachima, what is Tama, Tamafa, Tibuni Matema, Nema Mepa, dear, Nepa Patrapoma, and get a religion who may be Asoma.
The songs that have won top honors at the VGMAs, I think since 2009. That's just over the last decade. Sadiq, which songs have won top honors at the 3 Music Awards and the 3 editions that you've had so far?
Kofi Kinata.
Which one?
This year.
Okay, Things Fall Apart. That's this year.
Last year was My Level.
By Shatta Wale.
And then the first year was Ayo.
Also by Shatta Wale. Alright. So we're asking, in the discussion related to the quality of music productions, because some have said that these songs they make a lot of noise, like Patapa's One Corner, for instance. There was one from Ivory Coast, Alaji was a big monster hit. They make a lot of waves, then they disappear. You know, some even go ahead, win awards and all that, and then right after that they disappear, just like that. I remember at some point VGMAs, I think the song of the year was by King Isobe's I Want to See You My Father. You know, disappeared after that. They just come and go. So some have asked, if songs like Kujurinchi's songs, Dadilumba's songs from way back, Amanzaba's songs and all those ones from way back still make the waves, still get regular airplay and stuff today, what is it about some of these songs that just come and go? Is it an issue of quality? Is it just a hype? Or what is it? What could it be? Is it a discussion of quality? If it is quality related, then it brings in the question, is it about time that award shows also supported the growth of the industry by being more quality focused than popularity focused? Let me start from your end before we go to Uncle Ken.
Well, I think that we can't have this conversation without understanding how trends work out in entertainment.
Yeah.
Once in a while, some fads come and then it goes.
Yeah.
So when the fad comes, often you have industry riding it. You know,
yeah.
you have a number of songs that's coming out riding it and then it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it doesn't mean that these songs vanish totally.
Yeah.
Lately, also because of digital, you would have some of these songs still, and even if it's little for this particular people. But there's always that saying that talents come and go.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, when you say talents come and go or music come and go, you're not saying they come and die off.
Yeah. But
you're also speaking to the fact that you can only have a certain currency at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
And with growth as a talent, right, and also with changing audiences, things change. So if you look at it, the active music users at any point in time has always been between a certain age, say 13 to 24. This active music users most often dictate the pace in terms of what actually becomes popular at a certain point in time, and then they phase out, and then there's another group of active users that come in.
Yeah.
So previously, the millennials that determined or dictated the pace in terms of the songs that would trend, dependent on their lifestyle and the situations that inform the creation of these songs. Today, they are not. The active users of music today are what you call the Generation Z.
Yeah.
Their lifestyle is totally different. So whereas we will stick to old music or what was on trend in our time, they, for instance, now, what is on trend to them is not. I mean, if you put them together at an event, you will shock the kind of music they listen to.
Exactly.
So trends, active music users at a particular or the age demographics to a large extent determine how these songs come and go. It does not mean that the songs are bad entirely, or I mean, it doesn't have a certain level of quality. But the songs, most importantly, do not necessarily vanish. You speak to I was speaking to a musician who is still making some bit of money from, I think it's, okay, let me just put out the name, Obrafo. Obrafo is still making money from Paimoka, from streams.
Yeah.
And the Paimoka album, till now, still contributes a lot more to his streams than any of the subsequent songs that he's
released. Interesting.
So it doesn't mean the songs goes, but the songs sometimes still stay and is able to determine. But the trends, the age demographics, and of course, it's not as if Obrafo can outcompete Sarkodie today. So currency plays a part in how the songs also.
But going by the same Obrafo Paimoka example that you gave, I mean, for a song who after 20 years, an entire concert was held in honor of an album, it shows that there was some level of quality in there. So it therefore bring out the conversation or tease out the conversation that quality actually does count?
Yes, I mean the quality, yes, I'm saying that the quality does count, but I'm suggesting to you that the fact that these songs come and go does not mean some of these songs didn't have a certain quality vibe. I can understand. I know just around the mid 2000s till now, and even often when the active users of music previously are moving out, there's a new active users that are entering the bracket,
the space.
There's always that talk or a certain look down on the new ones that are coming in. So if you don't take it, like for instance, Uncle Ken, when he was analyzing to Zapp Mallet in terms of the music, he was talking about them days, how the people play live and all of that, and today some of them will go into the studios and all of that. So sometimes what happened in your time, which is different, you would want it to be the standard, but today their standard is different. So how do you determine as beyond the universal language of judging what a quality song is, which a lot of these songs meet it in terms of how it's produced, how it's mastered, how it's mixed, in terms of the flow of the song and everything. Most of the times you will have the different generations bantering on which was quality or what was quality, but it does not mean that it's not. It's the trends, it's the age demographics or the active users of music, particularly those that determine or dictate the pace in terms of the music to a large extent, who also decide how these songs dominate at a certain point in time. When they move out and there's a new act that comes in that appeals to a certain younger demographics who are the active users of music, they too will carry it on. So all these things, you cannot talk about songs that come in and go without weighing in on all these factors as well, and not necessarily related to quality or not.
Rasta, people have called the 90s the golden age of music. I mean, we've had that debate a number of times. I've read it, I've seen it in press reports.
The most I ask you which people is that you go in, majority of those people will be people who were active users of that.
No. It's a point well made. It's a very good point. You know. And what Sadiq has also said, there's an element of age in there and recognition. So, for instance, if I were born today, I may appreciate music that was made between the last 3-4 years or so, because that's probably what I would be hearing. And 15 years from now, I would say that was the golden age of music. So, is it really an issue of exposure or an issue of quality, in your opinion? While you think about it, let me go to the lines and speak to Hammer of the last two productions, and then we'll come to you. Big Boss, the last two.
Your fault.
Hammer, hello.
Hello.
Good evening, boss.
That's all.
My name is George Quaye. How are you doing, Hammer?
I'm great.
Super. You're live on Joy 99.7 FM on Showbiz A to Z. Of course, you've been with us on this show before, so it's not new to you. How have you been so far in these COVID-19 times?
Oh, a day. I'm trying to weather the, it's affected our way of life, and we have to adjust to it. So we are all surviving.
That's it. Now we're having a discussion regarding music and the debate as to whether our award schemes are not really contributing to the growth of quality Ghanaian music, or it is just a matter of age and appreciation, because we're looking at quality over quantity, or maybe popularity, if you like to put it that way. For you, I mean, there's no denying the fact that you produced some of the biggest and best tunes when it comes to the hip life genre, especially, and hip hop, in your time. Listening to what is churned out today, would you say quality has dropped? Is there a problem that needs fixing?
Well, I can't really say. Times always change. Music approvals from audiences always change. Now the kids like a certain kind of bottle base. In our time, no. It's relative. Everything you're talking about is relative. But quality is something that is general. It's absolute. Quality is quality. And it's basically the finalization of a song. So what I would describe as a quality song is a song well mixed and mastered all round, when it comes to the voice, when it comes to the instrumentation, when it comes to the measure, the way, how open the song is, how spacious it is. You know what I'm saying? So quality songs are basically songs that are well tuned, well handled. On the engineering side, every song can be sweet. Every song can be great. Beats are nice. Voices are beautiful. But the final work that you're consuming, the quality of this final work is based on how the engineer, the mixing engineer and the mastering engineer sat down to tune your voice, or to bring the best out of your voice, and to bring the best out of your the beat.
So does it mean that?
Sorry, I'm on the walk.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So I just does it mean therefore that in your opinion quality is solely determined by the engineer or the producer? It doesn't involve the lyrics that have been written or are being sung. It doesn't involve that
is the creativity. You see, songs are made up of the creativity and the quality. But me about beat I can play a very nice beat, but somebody else has to, or I myself have to tune the beat to a level that will bring the best out of my sound system. So the quality part is the mixing. The mixing has nothing to do with creativity. The mastering has nothing to do with, it's all frequency.
Okay.
It's all frequency. It is about the sound, how fat the kick is, how narrow the kick is, how bouncy the kick is, how punchy the kick is, how hard the snare is, how beautiful the voice is, how fat the voice is, or how thin the voice is. It has nothing to do with what has been written or what you are singing. You may sing very nicely, but if the engineer is not good, he won't bring the best out of your voice.
Interesting.
The quality of the sound is the sound itself, the one who is finalizing it. You know what I'm saying? So not all engineers are producers. Some are just engineers. They think in frequency like Hubert Enti.
Yeah.
He thinks in frequency. He's all about making sure the sound you have made is beautiful. He mixes from my songs to EL songs he masters my songs to EL songs to several people's songs. And he just, after you bring to him your beautiful song, he will expand it, tune it to the level where any sound system, any car tape, any headphone will enjoy it. And another thing that I must mention is that equipment count when it comes to the quality. So over here in Ghana, we don't have everything, but the little we have, I think that we are doing well with it. Yeah.
If you were invited as a member of any award schemes board, which would you ask them to go for? The very popular songs or the quality, well-produced songs?
It depends. Some audiences don't care about quality, like a drunken audience. You know what I'm saying? Some it's all about creativity. Not everybody wants to sit down and enjoy or dissect the beauty of a song. Some people just want to hear, hey, Alaji, hey, Alaji, hey, Alaji. Some people don't care. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's all like relative. It's not, it depends on who is listening. And I don't really, for me personally, I'm very choosy when it comes to music. I like some kinds of music. I don't really like any popular music. I just like when you go on albums. When an album comes out, I usually like the one that didn't hit. There's some album songs that I always like.
Yeah.
These are the songs that I really go for.
All right, we'll end it here and say thank you very much. We'll continue our conversation. If there's a part that we need any clarity, we'll try to raise you on the line again.
Let me use this platform to address an issue that is going on real quick.
Please do.
Gumrow.
Yes.
I am recently, we have been in fights with Gumrow forever, since I can remember. And finally now, there is a group that I'm part of that seems to be out to get a job done. I want to reach out to all musicians to be part of this group. It's Alliance for Change. And I will be formally making a video to get people to join this group so we can change our industry forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hammer. We're grateful for your time. And that was Hammer of the last two productions. Later on, we'll see if we can also raise Kaywa on the line. But before Hammer, Kwame Rasta was on the floor. Rasta?
Yes.
Yes, you had the microphone before Hammer came in.
Thank you. I think
does he remember what he was saying?
Yes, he does. He kept it in one of the locks, so he just...
George,
yeah.
If you're asking me whether the music and its relevance has anything to do with its popularity and the quality of our time, I would say that just like culture is dynamic, so is music. So the ebb and flow of music vis-a-vis the era matters when you're having these conversations. As we speak, I mean, they're not too distant past. We had Patapa's One Corner.
Yes, the blue suit.
One Corner. And how they produced it and how it... I'm not very sure even that is in the history. the guy with the blonde hair, Ajwa.
Cisco.
Atajwa.
Yeah.
You know, if I listened to one of his interviews and he was like, he never imagined that. Not that when he woke up from his home to go to the studios, he didn't have up his sleeves to go and do music. It is his music, his intellectual property, and he did it with all his might. But he never imagined that. There are others too. Like there's a record that I personally was involved in with the production, and we spent about 6,000 in producing a highlight record. Yes, 6,000 CDs. And we hired musicians, session musicians.
Current 6,000.
Yes, current 6,000.
Oh, them days 6,000.
60 million.
60 million.
6,000 Ghana cities. Exactly.
Is there any other country spending cities?
Pardon?
Is there any country?
No, but the name of the currency is Ghana cities. We don't spend cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a banker talking to
you. That's why I said. Thank you. So, having spent that much, you would.
Do you see GH? Go on. GH. Good.
So having spent that much, I would expect that, and we have other productions that we just pay maybe 1,500 Ghana cedis, and you'd have your full length record, which sounds cool enough, you know. But the indicators or the factors that inform a successful or a hit song could be that the demographics that Sadiq puts in the 12 to let's say 35 age bracket at that time have something that they could relate to in the song. I remember time for me because sophomore, there's a record that at that time we spent almost 9,000 Ghana cedis in producing. We recorded in the studios on the Spinters Road. We had to bring in a choir, the orchestra, like heavy. It didn't even make the list of songs that we produced, we promoted. But this is one track that could have funded somebody else's like album.
Yes.
You know, so again, when like the conversation is tilting or drifting to quality, I would say that a lot of factors would have to align.
Exactly.
And if a record should stand the test of time for a 20-year period, let's say Pemuka, 20 years ago there were lots of records that were produced. There's a reason that particular one could be celebrated 20 years.
And people that weren't born have even come to love the song. Yeah.
Yes. So it's not an exact science that if you know, if you have the quality, it would.
That's true.
Tego wasn't born when they released Apushitin.
But you were really supposed to come to
No, I'm not coming to. I'm just making a point.
Yes.
That's thank you very much. And again, you play songs that people aren't used to on radio.
Yes.
In fact, the name, the Vintage Music Show, which is a part of Ken's Music Mix. And even when you go into Soul Serenade, some of the songs you play, even me who's supposed to be playing love music, I haven't heard before.
Thank you.
It is very unusual kind of music. Not popular, but you can feel the quality in them.
Exactly.
What is your take on this subject matter? Where do you stand?
Some of us are into quality
of
music. The reason for my shows are weekly shows, George. So I do not have the advantage of playing different things every day, like some people do. And I also do not have the ability to keep a particular song on my playlist for too long, due to the fact that it is a weekly show and it's supposed to be a show for people who like that kind of music. I have always said that as far as I'm concerned, when I am doing my shows, I play music that I find a lot of melody in. I've said that here several times.
Yeah.
Yes, that I believe in melody. So I was so elated when I found a quote from one of my favorite artists. That's George Benson.
Yeah.
I say George Benson is one of my favorite artists because he's a guitarist. Excellent guitarist, and he sings beautifully as well. Because he is noted, or he is noted for being a guitarist.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't hail his singing abilities. But if you study him and you know that this guy sings beautifully when he intends to. And he had a quote that said, "The melody is the most important thing that must stay in the minds of the people who listen to you. No matter how many notes you play, you can't let them forget what the song is."
Yes.
When I saw this, I said to myself, hooray, that's the point. That's the point. The song must have something that will remain in the minds of the people who listen to the song. So I can either hum to the song, even if it is not playing and it comes up in my mind, I know how to hum to that song, or I know how to tiptoe or tap to the song. So when we talk about music that has won awards for being the most viral, is it the most viral?
Yeah, Sadiq has the most viral. Yeah, most viral. Yeah, popular
songs. And then you cannot, after a few more years, hear the music being played. Then we have a problem. Maybe it's because of the quality.
Yeah.
Because I can relate you to a few songs. Faith Hill had Breathe.
Yeah.
You know the song, George?
Yeah.
When you play Breathe today, it still sounds huge.
Yeah.
Maria Maria by Santana. Yeah. You could play it today and everybody would appreciate the song. Yeah. I Wanna Know by Joe.
Yeah.
On your slow, George, you could hit that, and everybody goes,
You said you feel it,
exactly. Me myself, you feel it. I feel it. Another Day in Paradise.
Yeah.
By Phil Collins.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to live without you, Michael Bolton? You know these songs. Let's Get It On from my days.
Marvin Gaye,
even today.
That's actually my sixth tune.
I know that. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
That's your sixth tune.
Yeah.
And you know what is what's his name sixth tune on the Overdrive?
Yeah. Sammy Forson.
Sam Cooks.
Yeah, Sam Cooks. And then even Iggy also has a very beautiful one.
Has
the prayer. I think it's a gospel song.
Yes.
And it's very, very well produced.
Beautiful.
Quality. Yeah. Just
the Way You Are.
Yeah.
By Barry White. When you play it today, how long ago was that song a hit?
Yes.
Many years ago, you know. And Wogbajeke by Amanziba. Why do we play Wogbajeke today and everybody still enjoys the song? Because of the quality of production and the message the song sends to a lot of people, you know, lyrics wise. Kokoko is another song.
Yeah.
When Zapp was here, I wanted to mention Kokoko.
Yeah.
Produced by Mike. No. Kokoko is not by Lord.
Featured Lord Kenya. I mean, featured Lord Kenya. Yeah, featured Lord Kenya.
Yes. And produced by Marco Kekumante.
Yeah.
And Zapp. You know, these are the qualities that we're looking for when you play the songs today. And you know my favorite of all of the songs in Ghana? Masangaba by Achiami.
Yeah.
When you drop that tune, regardless of whoever is listening to the song, the person will say quality. So it boils down to the quality of the song, as far as I'm concerned. the song has to have quality to
definitely.
maintain its longevity.
Let us hear from let me quickly go to Nyaitego. Hold on. Because of the time, let's do Nyaitego quickly. Then, because he has a lot to say on this topic.
That
was between you and me.
What question do you want to ask?
No, basically, I mean, you have an interesting position. You're both a DJ. You sit on a major awards scheme board. And you've had interactions with musicians, and you know music. In fact, for someone your age, the kind of old music that you know, a lot of people should be marveled.
I had a good father.
Good. Your father, did he love music because it was popular, or was it because of the quality?
What, my father?
Yes, the kind of music. Because the kind of music.
No.
And the kind of music that you know.
No, hold on a second. I honestly can't tell you the reason why my father loved me.
The kind of songs that he loved.
The songs he loved.
The songs I play on.
You know, and that is why I asked that question. Because
no. So I can't tell you the reason why
him.
he loved those songs. Same way I can't tell you the reason why Kennedy loves certain songs.
Yeah.
Okay, he is the only person who can tell you. But growing up with him, I will listen to the same songs that
he listened to.
Now ask me.
So now the question is a pretty simple one.
Yes.
You're a DJ, and you play gigs. When you play gigs, I'm sure sometimes people come and request certain songs.
Yes.
Have you also encountered this thing, or do you think we're just talking something that doesn't exist? That certain songs are very popular at certain times, and then they just disappear. But songs that have been released from time immemorial keep getting the attention, and people keep requesting them at various functions.
Okay. As I said to you yesterday, no song dies.
True.
Irrespective of how crappy it is.
Yeah.
No song dies. Now, in the 60s and the 70s, when artists were using bands, live bands to play.
Yeah.
I didn't live during that time, but Kennedy will tell you that a few of the bands were crap.
Yeah.
But still, they got people to enjoy those songs. For whatever reason, only God can tell. Now, playing music, I have come across a whole lot of songs that are good quality-wise and bad in terms of quality.
Yeah.
But a lot of those bad songs are extremely popular. So playing music, one thing you will have to do is collect all kinds of songs and make as many people as happy.
Go on, yes, go on, yes.
What did I do?
What's happening?
And you will have to make all those people as happy as possible.
Yeah.
You're playing music and a very let me use our local words. A very big man will come to you and tell you that I want
this particular type of song,
and you will know that this song is, I mean, in terms of quality, even in terms of popularity, is a very
big
way to go.
Yeah.
And then you have some people come to you, as you said, which song do you say? Alaji. The one that Hama said, good.
Yeah.
So for me, like I told you, songs don't die. I may not have heard a song for 5 years, for 10 years.
Or even from inception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then somehow, some way,
somebody requested and you hear it.
Like I play the songs I hear.
I was just about to say, same thing I told George yesterday, that there are several songs that I haven't heard since 1980, since 1981. And I am driving and all of a sudden, it just starts playing in my mind. Now, I ask myself, hey, this song, who sang it? First person I call is Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, oh, Charlie, this song go. Then he tells me, oh, this person sang it. And then he will go ahead and even record a couple of those songs or CDs for me. I hope you,
I get you.
Get it.
I get
so, as for quality songs, yes, they are there.
Yeah.
Plenty. Even in rap, because I do a whole lot of rap, there are a whole lot of good rap artists who have not even won one award before, because their songs are not popular.
They are not popular, but they are good quality.
Are so good that even the award winners, the award givers will even tell you that this
one they like. You've just given us something about quality, and let me at that point go to Richie, who's also on the line, to ask him what, in their opinion, they, the music producers, what is quality to them? Shopman.
Myself is Shopman.
Hello, at this point you're on your own. You're alone. When I'm on this seat, I'm a tall man. Yeah. How are you doing, my brother Richie Mansa?
I'm good. How are you?
Except that I'm still waiting for my thing. But
today, no, I'll send it.
If you say so, we're grateful. So we're discussing quality music and all, what is bad music and all that, because many people have fingered some of our leading award schemes for the dearth, not DETH, DIRTH, in quality songs in Ghana. That is making it almost impossible for our musicians to cross borders like some of our other country folk, other neighboring countries have been able to. What, in your opinion, as a producer, is quality music?
You see, when you say quality, one thing you need to understand is it's really very subjective, depending on who is talking. Because if you are talking to an instrumentalist, like somebody who's learned music theory, when they are talking about quality of music, they'll be talking about progressions and, if you are using chromatic keys and the kind of chords that you are playing, that they will determine as quality music. If you are talking to a sound engineer, they'll be talking about the quality of the sound itself, from the mix to the choice of tones and all those kind of things. If you're talking to somebody who likes lyrics, they'll be saying how deep the song's lyrics are is what makes the song quality. If you're talking to somebody who also just wants to jam, they are looking at quality as how much it appeals to them, because you need to understand that music is a way of life. Music is part of culture. So music is supposed to reflect every single part of our life. So there's a day that you are heartbroken and you are looking for a song that you want to listen and have deep lyrics and feel that connection to the heartbreak. There's also the day you are at the beer bar and you want to jump to allergy. So I always say quality, commercial, all those words, and there are terms we just really throw around, but it's very, very subjective. So it depends on who is determining it. Let's say if you are doing an award show and you are given Songwriter of the Year, then suddenly quality is about content and about lyrics and about the direction of a song. If you are given Sound Engineer of the Year, on the other hand, then you don't care about lyrics. You care about the quality of the sound and the tones and everything. But if you're a club owner or a DJ and you're supposed to jam your crowd, the quality is about the person who can get the crowd moving the most. So it's very subjective.
Interesting. Also on the line, we've got the CEO of Highly Spiritual Music, Kaywa. Highly.
Hey, my brother.
Highly.
Charlie, what's up?
I still wait for the dream. We don't come yet.
Plenty go.
I beg you, if you put one across, and they can't make money.
When we close that, we will talk.
Off air. Kaywa, you're also one of Ghana's finest producers, and we've also got Richie on the line, and in the studio we've got Uncle Kanadi, Sadiq Abdullah, Bukwame Rasta, and Nia Itego, and we're speaking quality, versus what is not quality, if I should put it that way. Now, when you are producing music, what do you consider first? Do you consider making music that will still be relevant in 20, 30, 40 years' time? Or do you produce, based on the trends? Maybe the BPM of the songs that are being recorded these days is 125. So you keep it at 125. Or maybe everybody is going Afrobeat. So let us all go Afrobeat. Or maybe everybody is going hip-hop. So let us all go hip-hop or whatever it is. What do you consider when you're producing music? First
thing I consider, obviously, is output. Because I'm a sound engineer, I'm in the bias in that area. But I consider great output. My policy is that at the end of the day, the quality should match up with any quality when it's played anywhere. And so, whether it's hip hop I'm producing, R&B I'm producing, blah blah, I make sure that I get that great quality to take me where I want to go to. That notwithstanding, it's also important to look at trends. If you're a producer or a sound engineer and you ignore trends, you will find yourself, for lack of a better word, find yourself wanting, because trends are necessary for progress. I'll give a typical example. In our times, when in our days, it got to a point where everybody was were producing great highlight music. I remember I was playing great highlight music, and I had, some Azonto, Afrobeat, and stuff like that. I was like, wow, should I really go into this or not? But thinking twice, I thought, listen, let me go into this and then polish it to suit me. So anytime you hear my production, you know that, no, this is Kaywa. If you listen to my current beat, typical Azonto, high life, but you hear an element that will always say that this is Kaywa. You see, so I'll follow trends, of course, but I'll make sure that at the end of the day, there's something that suggests that it's me. You understand? If that's
Interesting. That's very, very interesting. So both of you, Richie, you have also been on the VGMA board before, and Kaywa, you've been a judge, and both of you have been judges on various music reality TV shows before. What do you say to those who say that our music industry is being killed because those that recognize musicians at various award shows only focus mainly on popularity and not quality? Richie, let me hear from you first.
I say that, sometimes I sit at home and I listen to people say so many things about the music industry, and most of them is because they have no idea what is really going on, and they are just talking. I'm sorry to say it like that. And what's this guy's name? Something 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
6ix9ine.
Yes.
Yeah.
The music that guy does, if you take any of our artists in Ghana that you will say that people claim they don't do good quality, their music is much better quality than the music that he's doing. Yet he's hitting massive streaming numbers, he's breaking records on YouTube, he's sweeping awards and everything worldwide. So are we trying to say the rest of the world too don't consider the same? All we need to understand is, like I said, music is done for different purposes. Sometimes you want to listen to a good slow song and reflect on your life. Sometimes you just want to listen to a song that's going to make you cool. Someday you are tired and you don't even want to think plenty. So when you are listening to a song and the song has 3 lyrics, it's perfect for you and it's playing one chord throughout. So I think what we need to understand is, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to Jesus what belongs to Jesus. It's as simple as that. The person who wants the music that they will reflect on, listen to that one and reflect. And the person who wants the music that will just make them jam, go and jam. But don't complain about the other person's music. And when it comes to reality shows and award schemes and everything, at the end of the day, that's why it's called popular votes. It's what the majority prefer. I remember a time when I was in the club, we used to dance to Boys to Men. And they are singing slow songs. They are singing I'll Make Love to You in the club. And those songs have very slow BPMs. Right now, when you're in the club, even if a song is 100 BPM, they'll increase it to 110. Because you can't play a slow song in the club. Yes, so trends change. Things change. The same person who was dancing to I'll Make Love to You, right now will be dancing to an Azonto song like they are 20 years old. So it doesn't matter. The one you prefer, go with it. And when it gets to award schemes, the one that you know you like, vote for it.
Just vote for the person.
If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Let's hear from Kaywa on this as well.
Better than somebody.
Kaywa, what's your position and what are your thoughts?
Well, I share the same sentiment. Sometimes I sit and I think I imagine why people would just sit down and then not understand the scheme which is actually being used to pass these judgments, but they just want to, pass any comment or so ever because they think that it's not going their way. I also, in one way or the other, will suggest to these schemes like the Ghana Music Awards and the three music awards. Sometimes let them educate the people more, because for us, many, and I think it's orientation. Many people think that once the song is like you said, once that it's trending, it means that the award scheme should look at the fact that it's trending more than the other song to award that one more than the other song. But there are criteria, there are standards that are used. So I think that it will be adequate to educate the public also exactly what it is and what
why you should choose this and not this. You understand? It will also help very much. And great education, should go into this.
Exactly.
And it will work.
All right, gentlemen, I'll leave it here. Thank you very much. Richie, I look forward to my package this evening. Yeah?
Please, I'll be sending it.
God bless you. Highly, I'm looking forward to the next one. Charlie, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. And that was Richie Mansa of Links Entertainment and Kaywa of Highly Spiritual Music. Gentlemen, so we heard from them. We're running out of time, so we're not going to be able to start the other topic. But there is something that happened this week that I thought we could
every day running out of
Yes, every day we run out of time. Because you people talk too much. One small thing you explain plenty.
I can tell you the reason why we are running out of time. I know.
We all know. It's okay. Let's leave it at that. So, there was a funeral in Ghana for George Floyd. Did you hear about it?
Well, I don't know about a funeral, but I heard there was some kind of crap.
Yeah, the Diaspora Society are here in collaboration with the Tourism Development Agency.
Did we speak about
We haven't spoken about it, I'm asking.
I think that's the dumbest thing we've ever done
in a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
when you say the dumbest thing,
for me,
are you talking about the actual event that took place
in Ghana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why would you say that though? Because
no, George. Look, there are several things that happen in this country that when you hear about it, you get hurt. You understand? I can tell you one thing that hurts me the most. Driving on motorway, I pay 1 cedi.
Yeah.
Every single time I pass the motorway, or 2 cedis when I go up.
Then you become a safari driver.
Exactly. They say no. What's it called? It's a highway.
Yeah.
So there should be no U-turns. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Why are people crossing the motorway left, right, and center, and you don't arrest any of them? But when a driver does a U-turn, then you arrest the driver. You understand? That hurts me. Have we done anything, to fix that?
Yeah.
I'm sure each of us have things that have come up in this country that we believe certain things should be done. Then somebody has been killed in America. Yeah, we are all sad. But there are several people who have been killed in America.
Yeah.
Did we light up any furnaces or show up any flyers or whatever?
Did those people's killings attract worldwide attention?
There was this guy. There was this guy who was killed by policemen.
Yeah.
I think
a lot of it attracted global attention in this.
You understand? What's his name?
I'm forgetting the name.
There was a
one that God's calling Kempanak.
There was a big guy. Masa. He got killed.
You are saying that
I said it was a crap thing that we did. Uncle Ken, plenty things in this country.
But there's okay. There's a diaspora. Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll run out. Let me go to somebody else. I'll come back to you. Let me come to Sadiq before I come to Uncle Ken.
For me,
no, hold on. Look, there's a diaspora society that, especially from last year till now, with this concept of year of return, trying to sensitize the black community outside to come back home, own them. They are trying to make them feel a part of us right now. Is it really a big deal if we choose to hold a memorial in honor of one of us who was shot?
I know they cut you. Those 3 girls who died in Takrady. Small girls.
Oh,
I don't get hold on. But Niaitego also has a point, really.
Oh, yes. He has no point.
Yes, Sadiq.
So for me,
hold on. Let's hear Sadiq. We're out of time. Let's hear Sadiq. Sadiq, yes. So go ahead, George.
I think that the intention to do something also because of Ghana's positioning as the home of. Ghana has been trying to position itself as the home of diaspora for some time now.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the intention in to assert or take advantage of a trending issue involving diasporas and to position ourselves as a home of diaspora was a good one. I just thought that the extent to which they went was far. I thought that the president's speech should have.
The extent to which who went?
The state, because it was state body.
Ghana.
Yeah,
okay.
Ghana. I thought that the president's speech relative to that should have surfaced.
Okay.
Unless, of course, they are telling us that the president's speech wasn't powerfully resonating enough, because I thought that it should have surfaced. It should have been, the end of it. Going the extra mile.
You mean sufficed?
Yes, sufficed. Yeah. Sorry. Going the extra mile in this particular way, where the same industry that curated the experience that enhanced the experience for these diasporans when they came back is still yet to be engaged in this particular way in terms of finding ways and getting them to stay sustainable to provide the same experiences by December. It's still not been done. I thought was not, the best. I've seen people also argue, and sometimes I think that my initial point when we started on this was the conversation that started from the Samidian people. I realized that it was the same group of people who, for instance, who were saying that, what Samidian did, for instance, was insensitive because he had to.
You were all over the place on that.
He had to leverage a misfortune, typically, whatever. The same people were also making the same argument, and I questioned them and said, but it's the same thing that you're talking about. You guys are talking about emotional tourism and taking advantage or leveraging this particular station to advance it. But put that on the side. I think the intention to continue to do things to assert our brand position as a home of diaspora is good. The extent to which was what I said.
Don't worry. Let's hear from Rasta. Rasta, very quickly. I want to see if I can open the phone lines to take a few calls.
Okay. You will let some of us speak.
No, you speak. You speak very quickly. Let's go.
You see, our brothers in the diaspora.
Yes, those ones.
When I look at Sadiq, his height,
he qualifies.
How tall is he? He nearly could have been
one of them.
American. Yeah. It was just by grace.
Then yes, he also qualified.
I know. Does he play netball? On a more serious note, I think that it is. Once we sold them. I look at my own tendencies and I know that I would have sold selling.
Africans. You and who?
Back in the day, our forefathers sold those bunch away.
You have proof?
Yes.
They sold them.
Now,
it's okay.
If we have sold them and Uncle George, who would never have come home for year of return, it's okay. Go on. Rap sheets. There's no way he can afford to come home. Now, it's unfortunate that he was killed the way he was. But the truth is, we took commercial capital out of that selling back in the day.
Yes.
So if you have milked them and you flaunt it the way we are priding ourselves with having made millions of dollars from the year of return, and now we've picked it to a 10-year period, we should have even declared a holiday yesterday. That thing that they did. Because we put the people there. We sold them. We sold them. I come from an area. I live on the mountain. One voice. That so did a lot of sales. I come from the mountains here. Come on, all those that place. We sold these people. Now they are being killed for being black. And then we only organize that 2x4. Tonight I'm going to the Independence Square. We are going to stand there. Thank you. And celebrate the country. If they want to bring the dead body home, they should bring it. We will bury it. In death and in life.
One voice, please. He looks like a what?
I look at his nose and everything. I'm like, yo, all what you have said is opposite.
Uncle Ken has a lot to say.
Uncle Ken, go ahead.
You see, Kwame Rasta is Sadiq.
They are not serious. Uncle Ken, go ahead.
Listen,
please.
Listen. When this matter came up, I was like, let me find out what exactly is happening. So I made some inquiries and I found out that this event is in partnership with the diasporan community, like Sadiq said.
Yes, Uncle Ken, you're very right. You're very right.
Yes.
Actually,
Mamin Kamasame.
I thought you were looking for the name. I'm helping you to get the name right. The organizations that organize. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, and George, go ahead.
Continue, Uncle Ken.
No,
Continue.
I have conceded.
Okay, it had the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, Stephanie Sullivan, Nana Kobinan Ketia, chief of Isikadu, was also there, and then CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Yes, and Akwesi Agyeman. They were all
but
there.
This was done at the expense of the state, George.
I do not know that for sure.
Do you know that for sure?
Do you have been there? Are you telling me that when the tourism minister attends VGM, it is state money that has been organized? We do not have. Hold on. In terms of, we do not have evidence. No, the documents that show. Why do you invite them? Who give them law first? Listen to me. I can go ahead.
I'm listening to you.
I can go ahead. Don't mind anybody. Go ahead.
Sadiq Abdullah.
Go ahead.
Listen. A community that contributes massively to our tourism and other sectors of our economy.
Yeah.
For us in tourism, this is the minister speaking. The African diaspora, especially from the USA, is our biggest constituency. We are boasting of injecting 3.3 billion through the year of return. We have outdoored a 10-year beyond the return program, inviting them to come to Ghana. The Attorney General of Minnesota, who is prosecuting this case, responded to our invitation to come to Ghana in March, just before the lockdown. One of their own is now murdered. They approach us to partner them to organize a wreath-laying ceremony, which will be beamed to the diaspora communities who we are inviting. What is wrong with that?
Who approached?
The diaspora community approached the ministry that we would want to do this to honor our departed soul.
Exactly.
Now, what is wrong with this?
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to open the phone line 0244-340437, 030221. Let me announce the phone line 0302216541 and 0244-340437. Call us, let's know your thoughts on everything we've discussed today. This message says, Music A to Z, the quality of music. The quality of music could be divided into one: the music composition, melody, tune, the arrangement of instrumentation, harmony and blending of the instrument, the vocal arrangement. Gentlemen, please. The vocal arrangement and harmony, sound quality, that is frequency mixing and mastering, duration of the music, that is delivering the music with the air time, etc. And that is from Theo. Okay. Hello. This one. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening.
Go ahead. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Okay, I'm calling from Adenta.
Talk to us.
Yes, I have a say about this whole GAMRO, non-registered, not taking money bit. Look, if you think, and that's what the law says, then the law should be reviewed, because it doesn't make any sense to me that if I'm not registered, I can't take money, but you can go and take money on my behalf. Then who does the money goes to? You give it to somebody who you claim is also working. Really, I should work for somebody to take the money. This one doesn't make sense to me. Then the law should be reviewed again. I mean, is this how it's done in everywhere in the world? Don't these artists get money from places that they are not even registered to? So what are they talking about?
You have a point. Thank you very much, sir. This one says, I totally agree. Nobody has an issue with the tempo or genre. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, hold on. Okay, no, Sadiq, this one says, I totally disagree. Nobody has an issue with the tempo or genre of music we play these days. However, the basic ingredient in music is lyrics. Okay, that is from Rexford in Koforidua. Let me go to the phone line. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where are you calling us from, please?
This is Kay. I'm calling from airport.
Kay, talk to us.
Okay, very simple. You know, your last bit on the funeral that was held, the memorial service, sorry. I heard about it, and I thought, what's happening? But then, after Uncle Ken and you guys have discussed it, I realized one thing is always key: context. Now, after hearing that there was a letter, and they approached us to have something done, I saw that there was the context under which it was done is appropriate. So I think we should just avert our minds when we hear
things happening in Ghana, quote unquote. Let's look for the context before we start judging. Thanks.
Thank you very much. This message says, George, you are the reason the time is never enough. You speak more than all your guests combined, even when you were a guest. Interjections be brave. All right, thank you. And we're going to the phone lines. Who do we have here? Hello? Okay, 024434037030222165. Oh, we're totally out of time. This one says, GQ, then why not create a show like Uncle Ken's show, which celebrates songs within a particular era? Because if not, shows like that would never ordinarily play the songs Uncle Ken is mentioning. That's from Richard. Okay, this one, hello?
Yeah.
We're taking our last call. Yes, you're our last caller. Name and where you're calling us from, please.
Workaholic, George.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing well?
God is good. We're blessed.
Yeah, earlier on you made a discussion of some songs making the airwaves, like they were winning awards, but we don't see the value of